Get accurate drive times. Avoid delays with the best alternate routes. Take control of your morning commute with Fox 17 News Steer Clear Traffic. Sponsored by Ford of Columbia. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Well, now on Fox 17 News This Morning, the nationwide network outage may be over, but some mid-state agencies and emergency departments are still feeling the effects. We'll tell you why. And there is a minimum wage debate sweeping the nation. Tennessee lawmakers have their sights set on achieving a goal. We'll tell you how close they could be to reaching it.
Coming up, I'll have what former President Donald J. Trump talked about at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention yesterday.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning. I'm Justin McFarland here with you. Congratulations, you made it to Friday. Let's get started with former President Donald Trump. He was in town overnight and addressed the conservative Christian broadcasters that happened there at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel and Resort. Let's get out to Fox 17 News, Karen Aguilar, who's live for us this morning, giving us an update about what Mr. Trump had to say.
Good morning, Justin. Well, former President Donald Trump addressed conservative Christians behind me here at the
All right, obviously we are having some technical difficulties and we will get back to Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar as soon as we can. We can tell you that former President Trump will be facing off against the former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley coming up in the South Carolina primaries that is coming up tomorrow. Despite his commanding lead in the state, Nikki Haley says that she will not be dropping out of the race. We're going to hear more from what President Trump had to say to the religious broadcasters coming up in a few minutes. In the meantime, AT&T has ruled out cyber attacks as a cause for its network outage yesterday. We first brought this to you as breaking news this time yesterday. The company says that the outage was likely caused by a mistake in coding. According to reports, tens of thousands of customers were without cell service for several hours. Beginning early Thursday morning, the FCC was in contact with AT&T regarding the outage. The FBI, as well as the Department of Homeland Security, say they are looking into this particular incident. Well, some mid-state counties were affected by this outage. Places like Rutherford County, Lawrence County, and Wilson County said that no one could call 911 for hours yesterday. Wilson County is advising people to use text messages in the event of a cellular outage emergency. Murray County 911 says to turn your phone off and then back on if you're still having problems connecting to a 911 operator.
Time right now, 4:03. Taking a look at your forecast. We went through our Thursday rumbles of thunder and even had a little small size hail mixed in with it. I know I heard it, and now it's out. It's moving away from us. There are still a few little light sprinkles out toward the Cumberland Plateau, but other than that, just wet pavement to start this morning. We're warm for right now. Right side of your screen shows that we're in the low 50s, but colder mornings are ahead starting tomorrow. We're going to be in the middle 30s as you're waking up for Saturday and Sunday. That's both mornings of the weekend. Sunday's the better day to get out. We'll be in the upper 60s tomorrow. We're going to barely hit 50 degrees. And then we can talk about this. Your Saturday morning, if you are east of I-65, a few snowflakes are possible. We're talking light flurries. Most of us see nothing, and there's little to no impact. This is only early hours of the morning. 61 degrees today, 52 tomorrow, 68 on Sunday, and then we're getting close. We're not going to break it, but we're close to record high temperatures Monday and Tuesday. We'll take a look at that and talk possible severe weather next week in your Code Red forecast.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get to I-24 near Hickory Hollow Parkway. As you make that drive out and about there, you're doing fine making your way through the Antioch area. We will continue to follow things as we do not have any major slowdowns, at least not right now, to share with you with Steer clear traffic. We got you covered live and local, though, through 9 o'clock this morning. We have continuing coverage surrounding the debate over the raising minimum wage. one lawmaker is pushing for a substantial hike here in Tennessee. Now, State Representative Gloria Johnson wants people in Tennessee to make at least, listen now, $20 an hour. Right now, there is no state minimum, so companies have to pay the federal minimum wage, which is at $7.25 an hour. Now, Johnson argues with the rising cost, the pay needs to keep up. Critics say raising the minimum wage would cause businesses to raise prices, or some even say cause some businesses to go out of business. We want to know what you think. Do you support a $20 minimum wage for Tennesseans? You can see right now the debate is going on our social media accounts there. Nearly 2,200 people have voted. 66% of them say no, 33% say yes. If you would like to chime in for yourself, you can scan that QR code right there on your screen. Or, of course, you can visit us over on our X page, twitter.com. You can reach us at Fox Nashville. Well, coming up, Metro Police say they've arrested 2 men who they believe could be involved in more than a dozen robbery cases. We're going to tell you what officers found while searching their home. And Clarksville police want...
The whole case is a very complicated one. It could take 6 months in another court.
Next, Judge Judy. Tomorrow at 4 on Fox 17.
.408 is the time here on this Friday morning. Metro Police say they've arrested 2 serial robbery suspects, and they may have been involved in more than a dozen robberies in South Nashville. They claim that 26-year-old Jorge Alvarado and 34-year-old Carlos Beltran. They're accused of robbing a man in South Nashville in a parking lot on Wednesday night. Police stopped their car and arrested both men. Police then searched the men's house in Laverne yesterday, and they said what they found could link those men to other crimes. Alvarado and Beltran Jr. are both in custody. We're going to continue to keep you updated about what other charges they could face, including the firearms that they found. See them there. In Clarksville, police need your help finding this burglary suspect right here. Now listen to this. Detectives say this person right here on your screen is accused of breaking into the Riverside laundromat and stole merchandise right out of the washing and dryers. That's rough stuff. If you have any information about who this is, you're asked to call the Clarksville Police Department. Former President Donald Trump was in Nashville overnight. He was addressing a group of religious broadcasters out there at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel and Resort. Let's get out to Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar. She's live for us this morning to tell us exactly what the former president had to say.
Good morning, Justin. Well, former President Donald Trump pledged to defend Christian values, resonating with conservative Christians that gathered here behind me at the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center yesterday. Those Christian values included the pro-life movement. He cited his track record on abortion, where he appointed 3 Supreme Court justices that overturned Roe versus Wade. He also mentioned during a speech that religious freedom was under attack in public places, especially in schools, and plans to protect that if he lands a second term in office, which was met with a round of applause.
We have to bring back our religion. We have to bring back Christianity in this country. But no one will be touching the cross of Christ under the Trump administration. I swear to you, that will never happen.
Christian values were some of the key issues that he pushed, but he also pushed the immigration issue that's happening at our southern border. I'll have more on what he's talking about at the 4:30 hour. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
And of course, we mentioned earlier that former President Trump will be facing off against Nikki Haley in the South Carolina primary that is coming up tomorrow. We can also note that former president is among 4 particular candidates on the ballot right here in Tennessee, as we are in the early voting stages here in Tennessee. Of course, our actual primary day is coming up on March the 5th. In the meantime, let's get to Greg Bulbus. He's standing by with a look at your forecast.
And taking a look right here on the radar, the last of our showers that originally brought us the thunder and the lightning early stages of last night, now out toward the Cumberland Plateau. We take a look, Nashville, we are done, but everywhere out toward Cookeville, Crossville, you're seeing the most moderate rainfall right now. We have no lightning anymore. This is now dying down, moving away from us the last 2 hours. Yeah, things have actually died down significantly. You can see that in the next 2 hours. By the time we hit daybreak, rain will be done for us for now. Temperatures are in the 50s, but they're going to fall. And then they'll get right back to 60 later on this afternoon. The big word you've been hearing on social media now lately has been snow for over the weekend. Still, not a very probable issue right here for us, but if you are east of I-65, especially Cumberland Plateau, a few flurries are possible as we go into tomorrow morning, and we're going to track that for you on Future Track and look ahead to possible severe weather next week in the next check of your code red forecast.
Clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get a quick look here near the airport. This is going to be I-40 at Donaldson Pike out there. If you've got an early morning flight, you're in good shape out there near the airport. Despite the fact that the camera is freezing up, we can report that the traffic is not freezing up. The traffic is fine out that direction. We're going to refresh the camera and get you another update coming up here in a few minutes. You got to love it when that happens. But coming up, one state wants to ban all children from under the age of 16 from social media. We're going to tell you why the governor is now skeptical about the bill that could be coming to his desk. And a successful...
I made Barbara's news site get count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and a maximum refund. Make your moves. We'll make them count. Intuit TurboTax. 100% accuracy guaranteed.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. That's a live look there across downtown Nashville. As you can see, we are doing okay as far as your weather is concerned. Thankfully, the rain has moved out of the area. Some of that got really loud last night for some of us. Greg Bulbus will have an update on exactly what's going to happen with your rain as we move towards the weekend coming up here in the next few minutes. Alexei Navalny's mother says that investigators have allowed her to see her son's body after he died in a Russian prison. This happened last week. Now, Navalny was a high-profile critic of Russian President Vladimir Putin. His mother issued a video statement saying that she was shown his body in a morgue near that prison. She says authorities are trying to force her to agree to a secret burial.
According to the law, they should have given me Alexei's body right away, but they haven't done it yet. Instead, they blackmailed me and set conditions for where, when, and how Alexei should be buried.
Now, she has filed a lawsuit contesting the officials' refusal to release his body. A closed-door hearing has been scheduled for March the 4th. Florida House lawmakers have now approved a brand new bill yesterday that would ban all children under the age of 16 from using social media, even with a parent's permission. Now, it would require everyone else in the Sunshine State to prove that they are adults to continue to use their social media account. The measure now goes to the desk of Governor Ron DeSantis, but just hours before the vote, he voiced a little skepticism with how it's written, saying parents need to play a role in monitoring social media use. Well, a similar effort is in other states out there, and they've all faced some legal pushback, and that includes in Arkansas, where a federal judge has blocked a law requiring minors to have parental consent to use social media. Well, for the first time in a long time, we are back on the moon. A private U.S. spacecraft touched down on the south pole of the moon just last night.
Welcome to the moon. Houston, Odysseus has found his new home.
All right, you heard it right there. The brand new Intuitive Machines says that the spacecraft successfully landed and is sending back a weak signal. The Odysseus launched last week from the Kennedy Space Center. It was carrying a whole load of experiments for NASA and other companies. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson says it's a giant leap forward for the world.
Today, for the first time in the history of humanity, a commercial company, an American company, launched and led the voyage up there. And today is a day that shows the power and promise of NASA's commercial partnerships.
NASA paid Intuitive Machines $118 million to build and fly the Odysseus there. The space agency plans to send astronauts back to the moon in the next few years. Let's get to Greg Belvis. He's standing by. Look at your forecast here as we move towards the weekend. Of course, we know the moon is one of many things you keep an eye on.
Yes, and tomorrow's a full moon, so it couldn't have actually worked out better that the landing happens yesterday. And then tomorrow, crystal clear. For most of us, we'll see the moon. So,
okay,
right on par.
Up
now,
in
this
the sky.
morning, not so crystal clear. Out the door, we have the cloud cover from the storms that we saw yesterday evening. Keep that in mind. Temperatures are holding on to the 50s for right now, but they will fall throughout the morning back to 46 degrees by 7 a.m. Cold front tracking in as we speak. So if you're in portions of southern Kentucky, or if you're out towards, say, well, especially Hopkinsville, you're working your way into temperatures that are about 5 degrees colder than Nashville. It's already tracking through. You can kind of see the line of where it's at. A few light rain showers we tracked moments ago out toward the Cumberland Plateau, but nothing compared to last night. This is the very, very end. And we go forward to tomorrow. Today, dry all day. Noon is when we start seeing things move in here for most of us. But look at this. As early as 4 a.m., a light rain shower or two and a few specks of blue track into the forecast. Most of us see absolutely nothing tomorrow. The chance for any disturbance in our forecast has gone down in the last 24 hours. I'm already looking ahead to Wednesday. There are signs that we could have a very stormy day on Wednesday of next week. Strong storms are possible. We are way, way too early to give you a specific timeline or what specific threats we could face. Just know you have to follow the forecast very carefully heading into next week.
Steer clear traffic at 4:20 this morning. Let's take a quick look here at I-40 at 46th Avenue. This is over on the west side of town. As you can see, traffic there moving along without issue. We're doing just fine as you get out and about this morning. We will continue to follow things for you, let you know whatever we find, and report back to you right here with Steer Clear Traffic live and local with you through 9 this morning. We're just 4 days away from early voting ending, so remember the hours up here for early voting locations is happening today from 8 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. and tomorrow from 8 a.m. until 4:30. Now, early voting centers are closed on Sunday, but they will reopen coming up here on Monday from 8 a.m. until 5:30 there on the screen. And then on Tuesday, the last day of early voting, the polls will be open from 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. They want everybody they can and is available to go ahead and early vote. And then a reminder, of course, the primaries coming up here soon after that. Now, you can find the latest maps and lists of early voting locations on the Metro Nashville website. We've got a link to the website coming up on our website, fox17.com. You can go there, find that link, and then that'll take you to where you can go vote here in Metro Nashville. Well, coming up, another big win for the Nashville Predators. We're going to show you the highlights from their big game against royalty last night, the LA Kings. And Nashville SC's
Johnson savings on our full line of F-150s plus 1.9% financing for 72 months available. Some scratched, some didn't, some not, but all with big savings. Town and Country Ford in Madison.
4:24 is the time. The Nashville Predators had a late start last night against the Los Angeles Kings, but the game did end with 2 empty net goals, which is pretty unexpected, pretty rare. But that's how they wrapped up another big win. The Predators on a hot streak. They've won their last 3 games in a row. This is after their big 4-1 win over the LA Kings last night. Preds goalie UC Soros had 28 saves in the game. As I mentioned, the Preds are able to get 2 empty net goals, which is pretty rare, but they did pull it off and secured the win. The Preds will be taking on the San Jose Sharks coming up tomorrow night. Then they will finish up their road trip Sunday against the Anaheim Ducks. It's that time of year as soccer season is back, and the boys in gold got it off to a great start against Mocha FC down in the Dominican Republic. And the boys in gold won 3-0. You can take a look at some of the photos from last night's game. It was a shutout. Great start for Nashville SC as they get their first of 2 games against Mocha FC as they are fighting to move on to the Champions Cup. Notable points from last night include the forward Tyler Boyd, who made his debut for Nashville and scored last night. The next game for Nashville SC is coming up Sunday at home at Geodis Park. They'll take on the New York Red Bulls.
4:25, but we have made it to Friday, and now it's all eyes toward the weekend. Today will be dry by the afternoon, a few little sprinkles in the plateau, and if you're waking up and you're seeing a little bit of light rain, that'll be done by sunrise. Cooler temperatures for now, though. Look at your Saturday, only 52, and you wake up to 35 degrees on Saturday and 35 degrees on Sunday. Cold starts to both days. Sunday is definitely the day to get out, though, because you'll be back up to 68 degrees. I want to talk about this right here, AM rain/snow. Our northeastern counties, and if you get really out toward the plateau, a good chance for a few light flurries tomorrow morning into early afternoon. Anything you get does not stick, does not cause any impact to your day. And maybe you don't have plans yet for tomorrow morning or afternoon. There is still time to make plans. Severe Weather Awareness Day. Yes, myself, Brett Luna, Chief Meteorologist Katie Morgan. We're all going to be at Trevecca University from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. You can meet the team, learn a little bit about severe weather safety. And if you're new to Nashville, we can get severe weather any time of the year. That's not typical for most parts of the country. Great event. We have it every year. We'd love to see you guys out there.
Clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's take a quick look if we can. Right over here at I-65 at the I-24 junction, you can see as traffic is flowing and it's doing great this morning. No big problems anywhere out there on the roads. We are accident free as far as we can tell. Of course, we continue to follow things all the time. You won't believe all the different things we look at to try to get you information on steer clear traffic, but we are continuing to watch it and provide those updates for you live through 9. Well, coming up, a man is missing from Clarksville, and the TBI is asking you to keep an eye out. We're going to tell you where he was last seen coming up in a few.
Former President Donald Trump
standard heating and air conditioning system designed to give you years of trouble-free service. You can trust AC Plus for your total home comfort. Give us a call. We're AC Plus.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Well, now on Fox 17 News This Morning, 2 school voucher proposals are the talk of the state legislature. We'll compare and contrast what they mean and what they could mean for families and schools across the state. And in Kentucky, a bill would give people convicted of certain crimes a fresh start if they stay out of legal trouble. We'll tell you more.
And we're waking up this morning here with a forecast where our storms have moved out, but now we're looking ahead to possible snow flurries for the weekend. The latest timeline that has changed a little bit coming up in your forecast.
Thank you, Greg, and thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning. Congratulations, you made it to Friday. I'm Justin McFarland. We're going to begin with former President Donald Trump, who was in Nashville overnight addressing the Convention of Christian Broadcasters. This was taking place out there at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel and Resort. Let's get out to Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar, who is live for us this morning, giving us a recap of what the former president had to say.
Well, just yesterday we were here previewing former President Donald Trump's upcoming speech here at the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center, and we witnessed many conservative Christians who are also broadcasters come through this road down to the hallway and listen, willing and welcoming him. And we heard from other reports that President Donald Trump's speech was met with applause. The president warned the Convention of Religious Broadcasters that the left wants to tear down crosses and pledged to stop that if elected, along with protect prayers in schools. But he also touched on a huge issue, border security. He doubled down on his promise to stop the hundreds of thousands of migrants from crossing the southern border. Take a listen.
This time, the greatest threat is not from the outside of our country. I really believe this. It's from within. It's the people from within our country that are more dangerous than the people outside. We can handle China. We can handle Russia. We can handle all of them if you have a smart leader. But the inside people are very dangerous.
And that really resonated with the people that were listening to his speech just this week. Senator Bill Hagerty went down to the southern border and also addressed the same issue. We've been hearing from multiple Tennesseans that this is an issue that needs to be addressed. So Donald Trump, promising on his campaign promises, is saying that if he is reelected, he will get it taken care of. But that's not all he talked about. Coming up the next half hour, I'll have more. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Karen, thank you so much. Well, former President Trump will be facing off against Nikki Haley coming up in the South Carolina primaries. That is taking place tomorrow. And despite the commanding lead that former President Trump has, Nikki Haley says she will not be dropping out of the race. Well, you can get more big stories just like this delivered to your inbox every morning by signing up for our daily newsletter. You can do so on the homepage, fox17.com. Prices in the classroom. We've got new information about the competing education bills happening right now in the state legislature that does include universal school choice. Now, House and Senate leaders talked about their respective bills after their session wrapped up on yesterday. We should see the House version filed on Monday at the latest, and then a Senate version, which is out, that includes language that goes well beyond what some people would call traditional school choice.
Let's say you wanted to go from Davidson to Williamson County, and there's a difference in funding. So, and with our bill, the amendment, we have a $7,000 part that travels with the child.
We say that we are a fiscally conservative state. We want to be good stewards of our taxpayers' dollars, but we are expanding a program that has not yet given us proof that it works.
Well, House leaders call their version an omnibus education bill that includes vouchers. They also say that the bill includes teacher pay as well as raises and a few mandated state tests. Let's get to Greg right now. Standing by to look at your forecast. Greg?
Justin, we are so close to the weekend. We made it through the storms yesterday without any real scathing severe weather. We had a little small size hail in a few spots, but that was pretty much what we thought was going to happen, and now we're drying out for today. You may see some flurries, though, a few of us on your Saturday. It's not for everyone. We've been talking about that for about 2 days, so you shouldn't catch you off guard from the Cumberland Plateau, and a few light snowflakes do come down. Nothing is going to stick. Severe weather is possible next week, however. Tuesday into Wednesday, our next big weather maker moves in. That could be the next chance to see some stronger storms. But this morning, getting out the door, definitely wet pavement, a mainly cloudy sky to begin the day. Those clouds creep away during the afternoon. Maybe a little extra time because of that wet pavement, but nothing coming down in terms of any extra rainfall this morning. Once a sprinkle or two in the plateau is out of here, we're good to go. 52 degrees. Last warm morning we're going to have until next week. We turn back to colder times. Take a look at your 7-day forecast. Your weekend is a two-parter when it comes to temperature. 52 degrees tomorrow, 68 degrees on Sunday. Both mornings you wake up back into the low 30s. So if you have morning plans Saturday or Sunday, you're going to go from a winter coat to almost spring-like conditions.
Steer clear traffic at 435. Quick look outside. Let's take you to I-65 at Armory Drive. Still a light coating of rain out there. The streets are just a little wet, not completely dry yet, so please keep that in mind. You see some of that shine on the road from that overnight rain. Other than that, though, we're doing really well out there for your accidents. Nothing really reported in a significant way in several hours now, according to Metro Police and other areas around town. Of course, we're always following things, and we got you covered live and local through 9. The TBI is asking Clarksville to be on the lookout for this man right here who has gone missing. We're talking about Howard Miller. He's 42 years old and was last seen near North Main Street. He was wearing a tan hoodie and blue jeans. If you know where he is, you're asked to call the TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND. Looking ahead, as lawmakers in Kentucky are now considering a bill that would automatically erase some criminal convictions if the Clean Slate Act is passed. So the Clean Slate Act is what it's called. It says that misdemeanor crimes and some felonies like theft, robbery, and drug possession would be wiped off of a person's record if that person stays out of trouble for at least 5 years after they've done their time. Support for this bill is not universal. We'll see how far it gets there in the state of Kentucky. Well, coming up, new charges are being filed in the death of 2 Navy SEALs near Yemen. We're going to tell you how the United States found the men who are accused of doing this. And a judge says that a school can legally push a...
With 27 competitors.
This is the biggest tournament of champions ever.
Weeknights at 5 on Fox 17.
.439 is the time. Quick look from New York City. The Freedom Tower right there in the middle of the screen there in Lower Manhattan. Beautiful shot there in NYC, where the current time is 5:39. Sunrise will be coming up there soon. Of course, back here in Nashville, we've got nice weather shaping up here after some overnight rain. Greg Bobus will tell us more about that coming up here in a few. Well, the Justice Department is now charging 4 men with shipping Iranian-made weapons to the Houthi rebels. This is in Yemen. Now, they were arrested last month after the United States Navy raided their vessel. It's the same mission that sparked a 10-day search for 2 Navy SEALs who fell in the water and were later pronounced dead. According to the United States Central Command, the Navy seized ballistic missiles as well as cruise missiles during that particular search of the vessel. Let's go to Texas. A Texas judge has now ruled that a Houston area school district has not violated state law by punishing a black student who refused to change his hairstyle. Now, the Barbers Hill High School made 18-year-old Daryl George serve an in-school suspension. This is because they say that he broke the rules of the school's dress code because he had dreadlocks, even though he wears them tied up. The school argues that if his hair was down, it'd be too long. Now, George's family argued it violates the Crown Act, which prohibits race-based hair discrimination. But the law does not mention hair length as part of what they are protecting. One of the bill's authors says they're going to submit a new version of the bill to better address situations like this. Let's get to Greg Bobus. He's standing by with a look at your forecast.
Good morning. Time right now, 4:41. We had the rain overnight, and that's dying down now. A sprinkle or two for the plateau through sunrise, and then that is it. Once daybreak hits, the rain is gone. The clouds, they exit throughout this afternoon as well. You're waking up with temperatures in the upper 40s and low 50s. They're going to go to the low 60s later on this afternoon. The big story going forward now is who could possibly see a flurry or two for your Saturday. So here's future track going into 4 a.m. tomorrow and starting in portions of southern Kentucky. This has been the case every little forecast model that we've taken a look at. So nothing really has changed. Little light green and blue specks you can barely even see on future track for the early hours of your Saturday. And then those track out of here, we're good to go. We're dry the rest of the weekend. Cold starts though. 35 degrees for tomorrow, 35 degrees on Sunday. So both mornings chilly, but the pick of the weekend is going to definitely be on Sunday with a high of 68 degrees. And then we have 2 days next week that'll be close to record high temperatures. We'll find that in the next check of your code forecast.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get you to I-24 Waldron Road. You can see how traffic there is flowing along just fine. No big problems in either direction out there. We are doing well this morning. Your overall drive times on the green. Mount Juliet, 26 minutes. Murfreesboro, 49 minutes. 27 minutes in from Franklin. We'll continue to watch the roads for you here with Steer clear traffic. We got you covered live and local through 9. Well, coming up, a major part of Nashville's Black history and how some want to revitalize a major neighborhood here in Nashville. We're talking about Jefferson Street. We'll have the full story coming up in a few moments. And a talk show is now facing 2 difficult illnesses. We're going to tell you what medical experts
Use Psychic Count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and a maximum refund. Make your moves. We'll make them count. Intuit TurboTax. 100% accuracy guaranteed.
4 4:44 is the time here on this Friday morning. During this Black History Month, Fox 17 News has taken a closer look at Nashville's historically black neighborhoods. That includes Jefferson Street. Once a thriving center of black commerce in Nashville, historians say that the neighborhood was forever changed by the damage caused by the construction of I-40 back in the 1960s. But there's still some ideas about how to grow Jefferson Street and maybe turn it back into something that it was. Here is my report on what Jefferson Street could look like moving forward. These pictures represent Jefferson Street's proud history and education. It is currently home to 3 historically black colleges or universities. It also has a very rich musical heritage. Jimi Hendrix, pictured here on the left, used to play Jefferson Street. And Ray Charles, just a few of the names who once played there. But that was decades ago.
We'll never have the same Jefferson Street, and we shouldn't have. We shouldn't have a community that's 99% African American, with all the businesses and nightclubs playing just basically rhythm and blues.
Former Metro Council member and historian Ed Kendall says that Jefferson Street still has a lot going for it, but it can't go back.
I think we're going to accept the fact that gentrification is going to occur. There's really nothing wrong with it. And gentrification, a lot of people misunderstand what it means. Gentrification is not white and black. It's money and no money. It's really about economics when you talk about gentrification. It's who can afford to move in that area.
And that includes locations like this. These are renderings of brand new developments that are proposed for Jefferson Street. There's also talk about a brand new Major League Baseball stadium that will be located very close to Jefferson Street, just across the street from Tennessee State University. Kendall says he's got ideas of his own.
What I would like to see on Jefferson Street, and I've been talking about this for about 30 years, is a motel, right there at 26 Jefferson Street. Harold Love Sr., when he was living, we talked about that often. And my concept was, by having it there, it would be the first, I think now, be the first hotel you would see coming from the West. And it's located right between all the universities, Tennessee State, Fisk, and Meharry. Give them all 1.5% interest in it. I mean, that's some ideas of how to really make the thing work.
It's just one of many ideas in a neighborhood where change is almost guaranteed, but the future is still uncertain. I'm Justin McFarland, Fox 17 News, your Corvette station. Other news this morning, former talk show host Wendy Williams says that she has been diagnosed with the primary progressive aphasia. It is a form of dementia, or FTD. It is nearly identical to a diagnosis to actor Bruce Willis. And combined, the two sicknesses will gradually damage a person's behavior and cognitive functions, as well as their language and communication. While there's no cure, experts say that patients can function relatively well for a number of years if they are diagnosed early enough.
If I see somebody and they come and see me and they really struggle in language, but gosh, their memory is great, they have great attention, I'm going to leverage those strengths as long as they're there to build a plan day to day to help them function as best they can and to optimize that quality of life. We can't discover those until we really assess them and talk to the family about it.
According to the Mayo Clinic, nearly 180,000 people in the United States are diagnosed with aphasia each year. FTD is a little bit more rare and represents an estimated 10 to 20% of all dementia cases in the United States. Since the deadly school shooting at the Covenant School last March, extra care has been taken with students who survived that gunfire. Now, part of that is bringing in a Metro Police therapy dog, Sergeant Bo. Bo comes to visit the Covenant schools once a week. And yesterday was one of his days. They honored Bo and his birthday as students got to take their own stuffed Bo home. Stuffed animal dogs right there. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? Again, that's happening over at the Covenant schools, and those are the Metro Police officers there with their own stuffed bows.
How cute. I love that.
I know you do, because Greg loves all things dogs.
I do. If it has 4 legs and I can take it for a walk, I'm very happy. Very happy guy. And today will be a pretty good day for it. I hope you had the dogs up before the storms yesterday, though. Typically, I don't hear the thunder all that much. I'm in an apartment complex, and the noise doesn't get there and everything. Ooh, I heard some rumbles yesterday, and I'm sure you did too. Even a little small-size hail, but nothing severe. I'm already watching Wednesday of next week. This is when we're going to have a chance for not just some storms, but it could be our next strong storm weather day. And we have signals already that this is going to be Tuesday into Wednesday, especially on Wednesday. Now, this is way too soon for the specifics. What do I mean by specifics? I mean the exact timing, who has the best chance for strong storms, and what those specific threats will be as far as how great they are. As of right now, there are indicators, though, that every type of severe weather cannot be ruled out. So how do you go about this? Will you stay up to date with the forecast with us going through the weekend and into next week? By Monday, we're going to have this all locked down for you when it comes into timing and specifics. So as you're waking up with us here on Fox 17 News this morning, we're going to know what's going on. Now, this is only going to be Tuesday and Wednesday. By Thursday of next week, we look good. But here is the setup on Future Track for Tuesday of next week and then moving forward. And you can see not much happening Tuesday itself. By the time we get into Wednesday, 5, 6, 7, 8 a.m., this begins to move in. It really does fire off during the evening hours especially. And then you see the yellow line right here. Now, this is very grainy at best in terms of specific timeline, but it does cut right through all of Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. So that's the next day we have to watch in the forecast.
Stay clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get to the very latest happening out there on I-24. This is near Hickory Hollow Parkway. You can see the traffic there moving along just fine. No big problems in either direction. We've got you covered, everybody, live and local through 9. If anything does happen, steer clear traffic here for you. Let's talk about a health alert this morning as pharmacies across the country are having some trouble processing some prescriptions because of a cyber attack. Now, the United Health disclosed a cyber attack in a regulatory filing with the Security and Exchange Commission. This happened yesterday. The company says that the cyber attack was against its Change Healthcare business, which processes insurance prescriptions for tens of thousands of pharmacies nationwide. United Health says it became aware of the cyber attack on Wednesday. The company says it has isolated the attack and is now working to restore its systems. In the meantime, law enforcement has also been notified about this. Well, coming up, the fight over hot slaw as the official state food of Tennessee. We're going to tell you about some progress that's been made and what's on the menu for hot slaw coming up in a few minutes. And it was a sneaky move from this fox who dodged a rescuer and
10% financing up to 60 months. Plus a $1,500 trade-in assist for any SUV trade. Trade-in assist cash now at North Nashville's Nissan of Rivergate in Madison.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Live look there along Lower Broadway as they get set for another weekend of action-packed events down there. Bridgestone Arena is going to get a little action for the first time in a while. The arena set to welcome in Billy Strings with a big concert both tonight and tomorrow night down there from Bridgestone Arena. Then the Predators coming up here next week. They will host Ottawa on the 27th. So always something going on. I'm sure there's a show at the Ryman. I just don't know who, but I'm sure it's going to be great because that's what Nashville typically does. A sly fox caught on camera stealing a cell phone. This happened across the pond. Now, that injured fox grabbed a phone belonging to an animal rescue officer in England who was videotaping that particular rescue. You can see the camera set up right there. The fox says, "Yeah, I'll take that," and just took off. The camera was rolling as the fox checked out the device, grabbed it, and then took off into the woods. He eventually dropped the phone in some bushes, then sniffed around before walking off. He found out it wasn't the right carrier for him. That wasn't the right plan that he needed. The rescuer, who was quite surprised by this event, eventually grabbed his phone. He found it. He also managed to save the fox, even though I'm not sure that fox needed saving. That's just me. Let's get to Greg right now. Any fox who can do all that, I'm not sure. I think that fox may have been all right.
I think he just outfoxed him. That's what he did, basically. Taking a look there. Here's your weekend planner for you. 52 degrees for Saturday, 68 on Sunday. Little tweaks to our forecast, but by no means anything that we've not been talking about here over the last 48 hours. Still a chance for a little wintry mix, a few snowflakes, Cumberland Plateau into southern Kentucky. Cold mornings Saturday and Sunday, both going to start off right around 35 degrees. Today, a little wet pavement, but we're basically done with the rain until that little chance for a flurry or two tomorrow. Today's high temperature will be in the low 60s. We'll have increasing sunshine, but a mainly cloudy start to today.
Steer clear traffic for you at 457. Quick look there on the east side. This is going to be I-40 at Fessler's Lane as you make that drive in. We're doing fine out there. We really are. No big problems in either direction out there this morning. Of course, things are always subject to change. Fridays can be an interesting day because we do see lighter than normal traffic in places like Sumner County. But we'll see what this morning brings. The streets are a little wet, so who knows? We'll continue to watch things for you, and I'll tell you what we find live and local through 9. An update now to a hot button issue surrounding hot food here in the state. That we first told you about a push to make hot slaw the official food of Tennessee a few weeks ago. Well, lawmakers have backed off of that, and now they're talking about making it one of Tennessee's state foods. It passed the House and Senate unanimously, but now go on to the governor's desk for a signature. Hot slaw typically contains mustard, vinegar, and hot pepper, and it is served cold, not hot. So the dish was invented at the Starview Drive-In Theater. This is out there in Cleveland, Tennessee. One more note to pass along for this. Memphis legislators, I heard them talking about this. They are planning to push Memphis barbecue for an official resolution coming up next year. Okay, so we're just getting started. Well, our code red meteorologist Brent Luna learned how to make it a couple of weeks ago. If you'd like to watch that, watch Brent eat. That's his own show coming up on Fox itself. You can go to our website, fox17.com, and search Brent Luna, that is L-U-N-A, hot slaw, and you could watch Brent's review of the hot slaw from Cleveland, Tennessee. The National Park Service recorded around 326 million visits to all of its recreational sites in 2023, and 2 of the top 5 parks are right here or right around Tennessee. So the most visited site for the year was the Blue Ridge Parkway, which stretches from Virginia to North Carolina. In third place was Tennessee's own Great Smoky Mountain National Park. The Golden Gate National Recreation Area was in second place. Rounding out the top 5 were the Gateway National Recreation Area, and finally the Gulf Islands National Shore that rounds out the top 5 there. Of course, national parks have been a long protected resource and something that Tennessee tends to be very proud of.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Good morning, 5 o'clock right now on Fox 17 News This Morning. The nationwide wireless outage is now resolved, but we have some mid-state services and emergency departments who say they're still seeing the effects.
And let's talk money. The minimum wage debate sweeping the nation. A Tennessee lawmaker now setting her eyes on a pretty high goal.
Christian broadcasters listened to former President Donald Trump's campaign promises at the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center. Coming up in a few minutes, I'll have what Trump had to say.
Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Friday morning. We made it. Fox 17 News This Morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We'll check in with Karen here in just a few minutes. Former President Trump running late last night. So it turned out to be a late evening there. We'll get to update it there in a moment. Right now, though, kicking off your Friday morning, a few of the other top stories you'll want to know about. First of all, let's look ahead to tomorrow. The Republican primary in South Carolina. Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley hoping for a home state advantage, but former President Trump does have a commanding lead in the polls as of this morning.
President Joe Biden meeting with Alexei Navalny's widow and daughter yesterday. The White House says the president voiced his condolences to the family and admiration for Navalny's bravery in fighting oppression. Now, Biden says major new sanctions against Russia will be announced later today.
All right, we'll be monitoring that for you. Plus, Odysseus has officially made a historic landing on the moon. Just yesterday, the private lunar lander, nicknamed Odie, this is the first U.S.-made spacecraft to touch down there in 50 years. It is unmanned, and the lander is currently upright and sending data. So that's a big deal. Work is going to start soon to assess the weather environment on the moon, specifically the South Pole.
Former President Donald Trump speaking with Christian broadcasters at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention in Nashville. This was yesterday, and as you said, he was running late.
Yeah, so a late evening for this crowd. Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live to get us updated on what happened.
Well, good morning. Former President Donald Trump pledged to restore Christian values if reelected, especially for those that were attending here. They were all, as you mentioned, Christian broadcasters. He says, former President Donald Trump says that those Christian values are under attack by the Biden administration. Just yesterday, we saw hundreds of his supporters go down this road towards the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center to hear his speech. Some of them wearing hats that said, "Make America Pray Again," from Trump's catchphrase, "Make America Great Again." Part of Trump's mission here was to relate to those conservative Christians. He promised that, again, if reelected, he would defend the Christian broadcasters and their content. He also promised to appoint a task force to fight anti-Christian bias, including federal prosecution. You might remember we covered the 6 anti-abortion protesters convicted of federal felonies in the Mount Juliet clinic blockade. That's some of the people he mentioned he would be defending. And lastly, he promised to protect God in public spaces.
When I return to the White House, I will once again aggressively defend religious liberty, just like I had for 4 years. You had no problems. But we're going to defend it in all of its forms. We will protect Christians in our schools, in our military, in our government.
Another key issue he spoke about was tightening border security. Coming up at 5:30, I'll have more on that. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you very much. Now, by the way, we mentioned it just a moment ago in our top stories, but former President Trump will face off against Nikki Haley in tomorrow's First in the South Carolina Republican primary. And despite Mr. Trump's commanding lead in the state polls, Nikki Haley says she will not be dropping out of the race.
We're going to update you now on the breaking news from yesterday regarding AT&T. They have ruled out cyber attacks for the cause of their, nationwide outage that we talked to you about, again, as breaking news impacting not just AT&T, but so many other users as well.
Oh, for sure. So what was it? Well, AT&T says it was likely an error in coding. Now, according to some reports, there was a system upgrade that happened. Whatever they did caused tens of thousands of customers that we know of to go without wireless cellular service for hours yesterday. Started, around 3:30 yesterday morning or so?
Correct.
And then lasted all through the middle part of the day. We understand the FCC was in contact with AT&T regarding the outage. The FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, all on the case as well, and said they were looking into it just in case.
Now, we also heard from some mid-state counties that were impacted by the outage. Rutherford, Lawrence, and Wilson counties said no one could call 911 for hours yesterday, and that's a big concern.
It is. Wilson County now advising everybody, so listen up if you're in Wilson County. You could still use text messaging in the event that you still don't have cellular service. Murray County 911 says if you're having trouble getting through to them, turn off your phone, turn it back on. And if you're still having a problem, you may want to try to get somewhere where you can connect to Wi-Fi signals.
Yeah, some good advice there. We're going to check in now with our Code Red meteorologist. Happy Friday, Greg.
Happy Friday indeed. 5:05 our time right now this morning. We did have the thunder. It rolled through during the evening hours, and now we're just having the wet pavement aftermath of that. Showers have moved out. Colder morning starting tomorrow. This morning's not bad. 40s and low 50s, but we're going to be in the middle 30s if we're lucky on Saturday and on Sunday. Sunday is the better day to get out in the afternoon. We'll be back to the upper 60s. Tomorrow, low 50s, so we kind of gradually stair-step back into warmer times. Right now, barely holding on to 50. That number is going to drop in the next 2 hours, and we're going to see the clouds slowly break up going into the afternoon. We'll end up with a mainly sunny day. Breakfast, no problems here this morning, but again, hovering in the middle to upper 40s all the way through 9 o'clock, and then eventually low 60s right in the middle of the afternoon. No additional rainfall today, however. We still have been talking about and will continue to talk about any potential light raindrops or snow flurries for your Saturday morning. That'll be looked at on Future Track in about 5 minutes from right now. Knowing everything into the next weekend, though, gets very warm very quickly, back to the 70s.
Greg, thank you. 5:07 is the time. Now we're going to take a live look to see how the commute this Friday morning is shaping up. This is a live look, I-65 over at Fern Avenue, and we are not seeing any slowdowns, no issues at hand. So if you're heading out again to I-65 at Fern Avenue, giving you the green light, we'll continue sharing those traffic updates with you throughout 9 a.m.
Talking money this morning, more specifically the minimum wage and the debate over raising the minimum wage, as we have one lawmaker pushing for a substantial hike.
Okay, so what exactly is she calling for? State Representative Gloria Johnson wants folks in Tennessee to make at least $20 per hour. Right now, there is no minimum, state minimum, so companies have to pay the federal minimum wage. That's roughly at $7.25 an hour. That has not changed since back in 2009.
All right, Gloria Johnson arguing that rising costs are contributing to the need to raise the minimum. But critics say doing that would cause businesses to raise their prices, which would then continue that cycle.
Just ahead, Metro Police say they have arrested 2 men who could have been involved in more than a dozen robbery cases. We'll share what officers found once they got in there and searched their home.
And somebody breaks into a local laundromat and takes a whole lot.
Nissan.com.
5:10 is the time. New this Friday morning. Metro Police say they arrested 2 serial robbery suspects who may have been involved in more than a dozen robberies over in South Nashville.
All right, let's get to it right here. 26-year-old Jorge Alvarado and 34-year-old Carlos Beltran Jr. accused of robbing a man in a South Nashville parking lot Wednesday night. Police stopped their car and arrested both men. Police searched the men's house in Laverne just yesterday, where they say they found several guns and evidence linking them to other crimes. Alvarado and Beltran Jr. in custody as of this morning. We'll keep you updated as the story develops.
And to folks in Clarksville, police need your help finding this burglary suspect. Okay, it's an unusual case. Detectives say this particular person on your screen broke into the Riverside Super Laundromat and then stole merchandise.
If you can help, I know the pictures are kind of tough to make out, and it does look like the person is wearing a mask along with that hat. But if you recognize this guy, or maybe you saw something suspicious, you can give Clarksville police a call.
5:11, quick check of your forecast, bus stop forecast here on a Friday. And we're decently warm, wet pavement, but no additional rain. So rain gear not needed for us this morning. 47 degrees at 6 o'clock, 48 degrees at 8 a.m. Forecast. Breaking up clouds into the afternoon when the kids get home, bright and sunny, and temps in the low 60s. Here's Future Track, though. We're talking about that little light rain snow flurry mix that could move in tomorrow morning. All of today looks good. Midnight overnight tonight, nothing happening yet. 4 a.m., a few of these little light rain showers begin to try to pop up on radar. Right here, these very light grayish greens. I'm telling you right now, if you see a snowflake, you're lucky if you see a snowflake. That's how weak this looks now as it's moving in, and we get little updates here every couple of hours, and if we see anything change, we'll let you know. But as of right now, flurries, but no impact. And the main place that could potentially see 1 or 2 of those is going to be the Cumberland Plateau and the upper elevations.
Alrighty, Greg, thanks. 5:12, steer clear traffic time right now. Looking good. I-40 at Fessler's Lane. No major problems here or anywhere else in your morning commute. We'll check back in just a few minutes.
Coming up, one state wants to ban all children under 16 from social media, while the governor is now skeptical about the bill coming to his desk.
And we'll dive deeper into the big story that made headlines just yesterday, the successful journey so far to the moon. This lander now taking
these carbs and provide steady morning energy to help you rise and thrive.
Before severe weather happens, download the free Fox 17 Code Red weather app.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News. This morning it is 5:15. Live look at a very active Lower Broadway, all ready to kick off your Friday morning. Deliveries. We've got bucket trucks, construction scenes, flashing lights, road closed signs. Man, it's
just your typical Friday morning on Broadway.
Exactly. And by the way, still cleaning up from last night. So getting here to the weekend, and just know that if you're heading downtown for any reason today, take it slow, take it easy. It's still very much a tourist, so. Let's get to some top headlines here this morning. Alexei Navalny's mother now says investigators have allowed her to see her son's body after he died in a Russian prison last week.
Navalny was a high-profile critic of Russian President Vladimir Putin. His mother issued a video statement saying she was shown his body in a morgue near the prison. She also says that authorities are trying to force her to agree to a secret burial.
According to the law, they should have given me Alexei's body right away, but they haven't done it yet. Instead, they blackmailed me and set conditions for where, when, and how Alexei should be buried.
Fascinating. By the way, she has filed a lawsuit contesting officials' refusal to release Navalny's body. A closed-door hearing has been scheduled for March 4th.
How do you feel about a social media age requirement? Well, Florida House lawmakers approving a new bill yesterday that would ban all kids under 16 from using social media, even with the parents' permission.
Fascinating here. This would also, again in Florida, require everyone else in the Sunshine State to prove that they're adults to continue using social media. The measure now heads to Governor Ron DeSantis' desk. But just hours before the vote, he voiced skepticism with how it's written, saying parents need to be playing a role in monitoring social media use for their children.
Well, a New York City judge went ahead and denied former President Donald Trump's request to delay having to pay a huge settlement in his civil fraud case. We do understand that last Friday, a judge ruled Mr. Trump and the Trump Organization must pay a total of more than $450 million in fines and interest. And that is after being found guilty of orchestrating a decade-long scheme, some say to inflate the value of his company's assets to get better loan and insurance terms. The former president's lawyers requesting a 30-day delay, though, in enforcing these penalties. But the judge denied the request, saying Mr. Trump failed to explain or justify a delay. Trump calling the case, quote, a witch hunt.
Diving into one of our top stories now, science and technology. We're back on the moon. Private U.S. spacecraft touching down on the South Pole just last night.
Welcome to the moon. Houston, Odysseus has found his new home.
All right, Intuitive Machines is the company, and they say that the spacecraft successfully landed and is now sending back a signal, although it's a little weak. The Odysseus launched last week from Kennedy Space Center, carrying a whole bunch of experiments for NASA and other companies.
Yeah, NASA paid Intuitive Machines $118 million to build and fly Odysseus. The space agency plans to send astronauts back to the moon in a couple of years. That's really exciting, especially I know, Greg, you're a science nerd.
It's the moon version of Greg.
Yeah.
Apparently he's standing upright, giving information and collecting data on weather. I am not kidding. That's what its job is.
I just like his nickname, Odie.
That's good. Odie is
and Odie's his nickname when I have a dog
and
named
you have
Obi.
Obi.
Come on.
Obi, Odie, Greg.
So Moon Greg has you covered, and I got you covered here back on her.
Moon Greg.
Let's take a look at your forecast. We got nothing to worry about here. Code red? Nope, none of that. We're all clear. We had the storms that moved in yesterday. We avoided severe weather. We did have a little bit of small size hail in a few spots, but that was it, along with the rumbles of thunder we knew were coming. All clear. But wet pavement will be the only thing here for the next couple of hours. Once the sun comes up, it'll do its job. And look at the week ahead of us. Today, 61 degrees. A little bit of sunshine this afternoon. Tomorrow, 52 degrees. Below average. But look at what happens after the weekend. 68 on Sunday, and then we go into the low 70s on Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, those numbers are going to be very close to record-breaking temperatures on Tuesday and Wednesday. We're not going to hit the record. Just too far off. 6 degrees is too far off, but it gives you an idea of how unseasonably warm we're going to be in the forecast. This is the day I'm watching, Wednesday. Even though it's going to be warm, signals are there for a stormy day. Even severe weather can't be ruled out. Too soon to know specifics on timing and how great the threat of severe weather is going to be. Stay up to date with the forecast, and you'll always know what's coming your way well before it gets to you. That's each and every day. Just get a little update here and there with us, and you'll never be caught off guard when it comes to any impending weather.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get to I-24 Waldron Road, making that drive in from Rutherford County out there this morning. We're looking really nice so far. No big problems out there in Rutherford County as you make that drive in. I want you to notice, though, the roads are still a little bit wet after that overnight rain out there. Nothing crazy, just a little wet out there overnight. So please keep that in mind if you are getting out and about and trying to get to your destination. Other than that, here is I-40 at White Bridge Road over on the west side of town. Traffic over there moving along very well with lots and lots of trucks over there on the shoulder of the road sleeping. We'll continue to watch this scene and others coming up here throughout the morning.
Justin, thank you. Want to make sure you know just 4 days of early voting left for Tennessee's presidential primary. So we're breaking down how the schedule looks right behind me here. Today from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Then tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Early voting centers, by the way, closed on Sunday, but they do open Monday, 8 a.m., 5:30 p.m., and then Tuesday, the last day of early voting from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. So a lot of times here, you can go to fox17.com for more information. The presidential primary is coming up March 5th.
Yeah, and as Erica was mentioning, lots of information at fox17.com. This map will show you where you can go, for example, to find your location. And just a quick reminder, if you want to vote in person, our presidential primary for Tennessee is coming up March 5th. The Rutherford County School Board voting overnight to join a lawsuit against most social media companies. The lawsuit says that those companies have not done enough to protect young people from harmful influence. You know, we were just telling you about what Florida.
Knowing you're paying the lowest price in town for your repairs.
Your words soothe like the summer breeze.
Visit budgetbreaks.com for locations and coupons.
5:24 is the time. The Rutherford County School Board voted overnight to join a lawsuit against most of the major social media companies. This lawsuit says that the companies have failed to enforce their own age verification measures. They also have endless scrolling programmed in for teens, and they also say they have failed to keep harmful materials away from minors. Now, the school system says they don't even care if they win any money from this or not. They just want change. And they also say there's also been change against another company in this very same way.
This is the same kind of suit that they did against Juul. And we all know that they won the suit against Juul. And they had to change everything. So we're hoping for a good outcome.
Now, in case you don't remember, Juul was the vaping company that was accused of marketing some of their materials to minors, and because of a lawsuit, they had to change a lot of things, according to the school board there. Rutherford County is joining this lawsuit. They didn't start it. They will not have to pay any attorney's fees for this particular lawsuit, win or lose.
525, your forecast today, getting out of the rain we had yesterday. When we knew it was coming, didn't do much damage to us here when it came to any severe weather. And we'll take a look at rainfall totals, preliminary rainfall totals, as we go into our 5:30 half hour. But let's look ahead first. Cooler temperatures in the mornings for the weekend. The blue numbers in the bottom of your screen, whenever we show you your weekend outlook, always tell you what that morning temperature of that day is going to be. 35 on Saturday and on Sunday. Saturday, light rain or snow early in the day, depending upon where you are. The more east of I-65 you go, the better the chance for a snow flurry. This is not a snow shower. This is not a coating. This is not a run to the grocery store. This is just a couple of flurries, and then they die down for the afternoon. Great looking Sunday to get outside, though, 68 degrees. And if you don't have plans tomorrow morning into the afternoon, and you like weather, or you want to meet the whole weather team here from Fox 17, you can just go out to Trevecca University. Now, this is going to be Severe Weather Awareness Day. We do it every year, and you're going to get a lot of good information about weather, our local weather, how it changes, how it has changed, and then guest speakers and presentations are going to be there as well. Again, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., maybe even a couple of free goodies you can snag while you're out there hanging out with us, just to come by and say hi if you want.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get started here at I-40 at White Bridge Road. Happening over in West Nashville. As you can see there, traffic moving along just fine, despite the fact we've got those sleeping trucks on the shoulder of the road out there in West Nashville. They use this area because of the really wide shoulder here, so they are able to take advantage of that, and a number of them are doing so. Other than that, we're looking really well with your drive times. 51 minutes in from Clarksville, 49 from Murfreesboro, 27 minutes in from Kingston Springs. Well, coming up, continuing debate over Governor Bill Lee's school voucher bill. We're going to have the very latest from Tennessee lawmakers and what this might mean for both students and parents.
Former President Donald Trump addressed Christian broadcasters at the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center. One of the things he focused
Weeknights at 5 on Fox 17.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Eurostone. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News is Friday morning. 2 school voucher proposals are the talk of the state legislature. What they might mean for families and schools.
Waking up here, wet pavement, but the showers and storms, they have moved out. Now we get a little quick hint of winter going into the first half of your weekend, what you can expect in your Code Red forecast.
And steer clear traffic on the north side. This is I-65 near Dickerson Pike. Things are flowing fine, but for how long? We've got details coming up.
Yeah, your live local news source through 9 a.m. Our goal is to get you out the door and get you where you're going on time and have you informed before you go. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Waddell.
Happy Friday. I'm Erica Glover. We're going to get started talking about former President Donald Trump, who was addressing conservative Christian broadcasters. It happened last night at the Gaylord Opryland Resort.
All right, let's get you updated on what he had to say with Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live.
Good morning. Well, former President Donald Trump wants to pick up where he left off and return some of those Christian values along with get the economy going. But a big topic of discussion is securing our southern border. President Donald Trump addressed those conservative Christian broadcasters behind me here at the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center. And he told them that President Joe Biden is, quote, an incompetent president. And he says that, quote, this country is in a crisis. He says that the border policy that Biden has put in place has caused a chaos. We've seen hundreds and thousands of migrants cross the southern border, not just in Texas, but also on the San Diego border. Just this week, we heard from Senator Bill Hagerty, who says that he is seeing drugs trafficked through the southern border, and he's calling the migrants, quote, bad people. Now, former President Donald Trump wants to ensure that U.S. citizens, and even here in Tennessee, feel protected. Take a listen.
From Joe Biden on down, they have thrown open our borders to an illegal alien invasion by the world's most sadistic criminals and savage gangs, while putting peaceful, pro-life citizens behind bars.
He said during his speech, during his administration, that we saw tighter border security and less migrants crossing the border. He claims that during the Joe Biden administration, we've seen a surge of migrants, the ones that we've been talking about over and over again all week. He promises if reelected, he will get this taken care of. Some of the other issues he spoke about were the economy, his indictments, the wars overseas that he claims had been caused by President Joe Biden, and more. Coming up in the next half hour, I'll talk about some of these key issues that he's campaigning on. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. And the former president does face off against Nikki Haley in tomorrow's first in the South Carolina Republican primary. Despite Trump's commanding lead in state polls, Haley says she will not drop out of the race. A lot more updates to come.
You got it. Plus, right now, updates in the forecast. Greg's talking the possibility of flurries and some rain and then some storms. Got a lot going on the next few days.
We do, at least the first part of that, the flurries and the light rain for the weekend. Not a big deal. Now, what happens Wednesday is what we're watching more carefully. That could be our next chance for some strong to severe weather. What's new this morning? Well, we're done with the rain. We have now just some wet pavement to linger here this morning, and then that's it. Last showers have been exiting overnight. Wet pavement and then wintry mix possible tomorrow if you're east of I-65 65. That's your best bet to see a light rain shower or a quick flurry. Here's the breakdown. Most of us are going to see nothing. And anyone who does see something gets no impact out of it. The flurries are not going to stick. We're not going to have any ice, none of that. And again, the impact mainly east of I-65. The timing, most of it early on in the morning. Many of us might even sleep through it. This is the big story this morning. We're bringing a cold front in as we speak. So we're 13 degrees colder than the same time yesterday in Hopkinsville, but we're 3 degrees warmer in Clarksville. All these numbers are going to continue to drop throughout this morning, but we'll end up at 62 later this afternoon.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. This is going to be I-65 at Dickerson Pike coming in from that north side of town. Traffic moving along very well. No big problems out there this morning so far, but things will change as the sun continues to start to rise there in the east. We're expecting traffic to start to build up out here and more people getting out there on the road, slowing things down. Here's I-40 at Broadway. No big problems there in downtown Nashville either. We'll continue to watch things for you throughout the morning.
All right, Justin, thank you very much. 5:35 in Crisis in the Classroom. New information this morning about the competing education bills in our state legislature that include universal school choice.
Well, House and Senate leaders talked about their respective bills after their sessions wrapped yesterday. And we should see the House version filed Monday at the very latest. Now, the Senate version, which is out, does include language that goes well beyond traditional school choice. Listen here.
Let's say you wanted to go from Davidson to Williamson County, and there's a difference in funding. So and with our bill, the amendment, we have a $7,000 part that travels with the child.
We say that we are a fiscally conservative state. We want to be good stewards of our taxpayers' dollars, but we are expanding a program that has not yet given us proof that it works.
House leaders call their version an omnibus education bill that includes vouchers. They say their bill also includes teacher pay raises and fewer mandated state tests.
A health alert to be aware of, especially if you have kids of your own. We're going to talk about the recent measles outbreak.
And continuing coverage of the nationwide wireless outage yesterday, addressing thoughts that this might have been connected to.
Go to church more than 3 times? Visit a nearby Christian church this Sunday.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Zander Insurance.
Good morning. Welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning on this Friday. We have the TBI asking folks to be on the lookout in Clarksville for a man who is missing. Howard Miller is 42 years old, last seen near North Main Street wearing the tan hoodie that you see here on your screen and blue jeans.
Yeah, so if you're asked, or if you know of his whereabouts, maybe you have some information, you were asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. We do have all of the details, though, over on fox17.com.
This is part of a silver alert on the part of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. New this morning, a measles outbreak in Florida has health officials on alert.
Yeah, 6 cases were confirmed at an elementary school near Fort Lauderdale, and we do understand the highly contagious infection was declared eliminated in the U.S. back in 2000. But slowly it has reemerged. That's according to health experts. Across the world, measles deaths spiking by 40% back in 2022. And last month, the CDC warned healthcare providers to stay alert for patients who might be showing symptoms. Doctors say children are more at risk of serious complications from measles. Symptoms of the virus do include a high fever, cough, watery eyes, and a rash.
It's 5:40 right now. Greg, I went to bed last night to the sound of rolling thunder, and I didn't hate it. It was a nice calm storm, I guess you could say.
It definitely was just one of those like spring feeling kind of a storms where it doesn't get too strong, but a lot of thunder and a lot of lightning, but no severe weather and some needed rainfall. Some places got about an inch of rain that came down in that little 4-hour time span tracking through Middle Tennessee. Taking a look out the door this morning, we have no rain whatsoever to speak of. Now that rain left some damp pavement in some areas, but temperatures going to be in the 40s here throughout most of this morning, and clouds will slowly break up. Cloud cover going to be there at least through sunrise, and our sunrise this morning is at 6:30. Let's take a look. Rest of today, nothing happening. Sunshine does take over. Overnight tonight, we stay mainly clear. That's a problem. That means we get colder. Waking up tomorrow morning at right around 35 degrees, but a mainly clear sky for most of us means you can catch tomorrow's full moon. The actual peak of it 6:30 in the morning, but overnight tonight at any point, it's going to look great out there for you.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Takes us over to I-40 at Donaldson Pike. As you make that drive in near the airport, things are moving along just fine. No big problems there. We haven't had the buildup there at the airport exit in a number of weeks. We used to get it every weekend. Then again, this is not the hot tourist season yet, so we're expecting to see things pick up over here at the airport coming up over the next couple of months or so. Right now, though, if you've got that early morning flight, no big problems here or just about anywhere else.
Justin, thank you. Coming up, separating fact from fiction, what scientists say about the chances solar flares cause cell phone outages across the country.
You're in Tennessee, all at savings up to 50% off, and 36 months interest-free financing is available. The President's Day sale extended through Sunday at all 3 Lazy Boy locations.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News. This morning, 5:45 is the time. An update to the breaking news story that we covered all morning yesterday. The wireless outage for AT&T and other providers. Service is back on now, but boy, that certainly did cause a mess yesterday, didn't it?
Just a huge headache for a lot of people out there. Claims the problems, though, were caused by solar flares. That's what some folks are saying, are making rounds on social media. But is it true? Our Fox 17 meteorologist Brett Luna gets answers from the Space Weather Prediction Center.
We had a few solar flares occur recently, and we had 2 of those that occurred before all those cell issues happened early Thursday morning. The first one of those peaking at 5:07 p.m. Central Time Wednesday, and then another one at 12:32 a.m. early Thursday morning. A solar flare is the solar system's largest explosive event. It's a sudden burst of electromagnetic energy, and this energy travels at the speed of light and only impacts the part of Earth that can actually see the flare, aka the sunlit side of the Earth. It just so happens that certain cell services also went down early Thursday morning, but according to experts, these events likely have no connection.
In our opinion, based off what we know with space weather, we can go as far as to say it's highly unlikely.
The frequencies that cellular systems generally operate upon are outside of the realm of frequencies that a solar flare would normally impact. A solar flare normally is just going to impact HF radio frequencies, so ham radio, people that are emergency response, that are trying to use those frequencies, operations like that.
Other types of solar activity, whether it be our solar radiation storms or geomagnetic storms, they can start to impact more specific technologies like satellites in space or our power grid, for instance, just to name a few, GPS accuracy among others. There's a lot of things that can happen, but those events did not happen either.
During solar flares or coronal mass ejections, these radio emissions can spike in both intensity and bandwidth. The radio noise can lower the signal-to-noise ratio for some terrestrial radio communications, leading to degraded or even a loss of communication. During the time of the widely reported outage, the Space Weather Prediction Center did measure a few so-called radio bursts, but they were not uncharacteristically large or at the typical frequencies of 4G and 5G cellular communications. They think it is unlikely that those were the source of the outages. Space Weather Prediction Center Service Coordinator Sean Dahl says we're at an active time when it comes to the sun. The sun operates on an 11-year cycle, so don't be surprised if you hear of more solar events throughout the rest of this year and even into 2026. Reporting in studio, Brett Luna, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, we just had a little science lesson. By the way, AT&T, for their part, did come out and say that they believe that interruption yesterday was the result of a software type upgrade malfunction.
Let's talk about the National Park Service that recorded about 326 million visitors of all of their 400 recreational sites last year. So this does include national parks, battlefields, and recreation centers.
The most visited site for the year, the Blue Ridge Parkway, which stretches from Virginia to North Carolina.
It's beautiful for sure. Followed by the Golden Gate Recreation Area. The Great Smoky Mountains, of course, making this list as well. Finally, the Gateway National Recreation Area rounded out the top 5.
I'll tell you, the Blue Ridge Parkway, the #1 spot, is absolutely gorgeous. We traveled it a lot when we lived in Virginia, and in fact, the very first house that we ever owned, as we sent it over to Greg, the very first house we bought in Virginia was right off the parkway.
Oh man, that must have been beautiful in the fall season.
Gorgeous. Yeah. Just gorgeous. All right, let's send it over to Greg now and talk a little bit more about your forecast for today.
And things stay looking pretty good. We'll just round that up what we had last night. We heard the thunder that is in and that is out of the area now. We're just going to talk about a cooling trend for 48 hours and maybe a couple of snowflakes. Here you go. This is future track going into tomorrow morning. Today, just a mainly sunny day. So we'll start where the next round of action begins to move in. Some cloud cover pulls from the north to the south. So you wake up tomorrow morning cold, but the clouds don't get here early enough to keep us from losing the heating of the day. Taking a look, try to find them. There they are, little spots of greenish gray. maybe a light raindrop or two, a light flurry in the Cumberland Plateau. Our chance for snow has gone down quite a bit here, even in the last 24 hours. I'm more focused on Wednesday. This is a day we have to watch. Signals for a stormy day are already there. Strong storms are possible, but we're not quite to the point to where we've got enough indicators when it comes to timing or also specifics of what type of severe weather we may end up working through. So what do we do at this point when we're this far out, when it's on Wednesday of next week and we're not even into the weekend yet? We stay up to date with the forecast. I don't mean we do. I mean we as a group, we all do together. Just make sure that you're checking in on it. You're checking in on social media, on Fox17.com, and watching us here in the morning on Monday. I'll have a really good bet in terms of timeline and scope of what we could be seeing in the middle of next week.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Let's get you to I-24. This is at Hickory Hollow Parkway. As you make that drive down from the Antioch area, you can see their traffic for yourself moving along really nicely there in that area. We'll continue to watch it, but so far we're doing really nice. Overall drive times could not be better. Hendersonville 28 minutes, Murfreesboro 52 minutes, Mount Juliet 27 minutes in from Wilson County.
5:50 is the time right now in consumer news. Tax day is less than 2 months away, and if you have not filed yet, it might be a good time to just think about starting.
Yeah, tax experts say that if you do make a mistake, there's still plenty of time to correct it before the April 15th deadline. So they say that's another reason to go ahead and get on it now. I know filing the taxes can be complicated, kind of a headache. You really don't want to have to do it, especially if you're going to owe money. But the tiniest mistake can throw things off. The IRS says common errors include misspelling your name or filling in the wrong social security number. Another common error is choosing the wrong filing status or not listing your dependents correctly. And that can have a huge impact on getting tax credits and potentially a bigger refund.
Ultimately, if you're not sure what you're doing, here's a good tip. Ask an expert.
Confer with a tax professional or use, tax software where it's going to guide you through and make those calculations correctly.
If you do file early and you happen to make one of those mistakes, again, you still would have time to fix those. And in some cases, the IRS will even notify you about the error and let you go ahead and make the appropriate changes.
All right, timing is everything. The majority of pets suffering from dental problems that can put their overall health at risk. We're going to share some tips on your furry family's teeth.
Management and subsequently suffered injuries. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Bart Durham Injury Law at 615-242-9000 for a free case evaluation.
Good morning and welcome into Fox 17 News this morning. A live look from Lower Broadway where it's already hopping, getting ready for the weekend. Hey, speaking of downtown Nashville, it's where we find Bridgestone Arena, home of our Nashville Predators, who had a big win overnight. We'll be talking about that and talking to Justin this morning, too, about a big deadline coming up in March for free agency in the NFL. So as we get closer to that with the Titans, we'll have a lot more to talk about. Plus, we have, speaking of downtown Nashville, SEC men's basketball tournament coming back to Nashville this year. So lots to go over as we go through here on Fox 17 News this morning, live through 9.
We're going to take you to Gallatin, where Gallatin's historic Rosemont Mansion is getting some much needed money for repairs. The mansion is getting a $53,000 grant for maintenance and also improvement projects from the state of Tennessee. Now, this money is going to be used for repairing and rehabilitating the south side veranda. Back in 1973, crews put aluminum siding all over the original clapboard to help preserve this area, but it concealed the structure's original character.
Okay, so they're going to remove that aluminum now, and the 1883 clapboard will be restored to its original appearance. I'll tell you this, if you are watching or listening this morning and you're thinking, Rosemont Mansion, where is this in Gallatin? Because I had to do the same thing. This is just south of the square in Gallatin, almost right across the street from Pelican Snowballs.
Okay.
Yes. And people in Gallatin and Hendersonville know where Pelicans is. They love that place. And you can go visit it. You can do tours.
Very cool.
April through October during the year.
Is if we're not staying on top of our dog's or cat's dental health, we're basically setting them up for dental disease.
Well, February, if you didn't know this, I didn't, is Pet Dental Health Month.
I didn't realize that either.
Here you go.
And here we are.
A staggering 80% of dogs face the risk of dental disease, and 70% of cats will experience some kind of dental issues over their lifespan.
All right, so health experts for our pets say this is a good time to just remind everybody about the role that your dental health plays overall when it comes to our pet health.
So we're hearing from some veterinarians getting some more updates about this particular story to keep you in the know. Veterinarians say, yeah, it's important for pets to brush up on their dental care routine. That starts with just setting out a daily routine. Do you brush your pet's teeth?
Yeah, we do try. We've got doggy toothbrushes and
they like that?
Meat flavored toothpaste.
Oof, okay.
That kind of stuff. But also we give them different treats that are supposed to help, keep their teeth and their gums clean. If your dog, kind of like you, right? If your pet's gums look inflamed, like if they're red or getting discolored, you should probably take them in and get them checked out. You can get your pet's teeth cleaned through your vet office. Sometimes that almost always requires sedation though. And
it's
it can
costly.
become pricey.
Yeah. Hey, we're just giving you some pet knowledge. We love animals here at Fox 17. What about Obi? Do you brush Obi's teeth?
I don't, but every time she goes in for grooming, they do a cleaning, and then every couple of years I do the whole take it to the vet, drop her off, pick her up later in the day. And yeah, it's amazing how much happier she always is afterwards. So you just feel much better about yourself, whether you're a human or one of the four-legged friends. Taking a look at your weekend, you're not going to feel so great about your Saturday morning, waking up at 35 degrees on Sunday morning as well. These are the afternoon highs, 52 on Saturday, 68 on Sunday. Now the one little glitch in our forecast, not the cold temperatures, but a small chance for some snow showers here in the forecast as we go into the morning hours. And it's only going to be for the Cumberland Plateau and only if you get out toward southeastern southern Kentucky. So that's the part of the viewing area that has to just be kind of mindful. You may see a few flurries out there. It's not going to stick. It's not going to be a problem. Just know that Sunday, that's the day to get outside. Look at that, back up to 68 degrees.
Still clear traffic. We picked up our first situation of the morning. This one's happening on I-65 at Trinity Lane there on the north side. You may be able to see, and it's tough to see because of all the traffic flow. A couple of cars pulled over on the shoulder of the road. This may be a minor fender bender. Authorities have not gotten there yet. Again, this is on the north side at 65 at Trinity Lane. Eventually, this will turn into a parking lot anyway, so this is not going to help things. You want to try to take Ellington Parkway or Dickerson Pike is the best way to steer clear.
We're back on the moon. A private U.S. spacecraft touching down on the South Pole. This was yesterday. A lot of folks talking about it. Listen.
Welcome to the moon.
Houston, Odysseus has found his new home.
All right, you can see all the cheers there from the gallery. The lander, as you just heard, named Odysseus, reaching the moon overnight, 6 days after launching from Florida's Kennedy Space Center. It's about 6 feet tall, nicknamed Odie, and made out of carbon, fiber, and titanium. The mission is part of NASA's attempts to commercialize lunar deliveries before we put astronauts back on the moon.
That's very interesting. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson says it's a giant leap forward for the world. Listen.
Today, for the first time in the history of humanity, a commercial company, an American company, launched and led the voyage up there. And today is a day that shows the power and promise of NASA's commercial partnerships.
Odysseus's journey comes 1 month after a rival U.S. company's lander missed the moon on his flight. We talked about that. Yeah, they were derailed by a fuel leak that sent it plunging back towards Earth and eventually just burning up.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Right now on Fox 17 News This Morning, the nationwide cellular outage may be resolved, but we have some mid-state emergency departments who want to make sure you are prepared if or when it happens again. Their best advice in minutes.
And as the minimum wage debate sweeps the nation, a Tennessee lawmaker has her sights set on a high goal.
Former President Donald Trump addresses conservative Christian broadcasters yesterday here at the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center. Coming up, I'll tell you what topics he addressed.
And thanks so much for starting your day with us here on Fox 17 News this morning. I'm Jennifer Waddell.
Happy Friday. I'm Erica Glover. We're going to get started by updating you on yesterday's breaking news regarding AT&T. You know, the big outage they had across the country? Well, they have now ruled out cyber attacks as the cause for that AT&T network outage. Again, this was Thursday.
So not a cyber attack, not a solar flare. The telecommunications company says the outage appears to be caused by an error in coding. We're seeing reports of a software upgrade that somehow went wrong, left tens of thousands of customers without cell service for hours, beginning the early hours of yesterday morning, and that did encompass a good portion of the mid-state.
Well, the FCC says they were in contact with AT&T regarding the ongoing outage. The FBI and Department of Homeland Security said they are investigating.
Now, we did have mid-state counties, as I mentioned, impacted by this outage. Rutherford, Lawrence, Wilson counties, all confirming that nobody could call their 911 centers for hours yesterday. So what if and when this happens again, right? What should you do? Well, Wilson County would advise people to use text messaging in the event of a cellular outage emergency. In other words, the text versus the cellular option, right? It shows up in different colors on your phone depending on how it is sent. Murray County 911 says try to turn your phone off and then back on. And if you are still having problems, a lot of folks would say try to find a landline.
Yeah.
So that you could make an emergency call from a landline somewhere.
Former President Donald Trump addressing conservative Christian broadcasters. This was last night over at the Gaylord Opryland Resort.
Our Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar has had a chance to listen to that address and joins us live this morning with the updates.
Good morning. Well, former President Donald Trump says that if he's reelected, he wants to restore Christian values back to this country. And we saw many of his supporters right here at the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center wearing these hats, Make America Pray Again, which is a play on his catchphrase, Make America Great Again. Just to give you an idea of how much they appreciate that he's trying to restore those Christian values. Now, former President Donald Trump also spoke about not just restoring Christian values like the pro-life movement and ensuring that Christian broadcasters' content is protected, along with supporting prayer in schools. He talked about the economy. He says that under the Biden administration, there has been a spike of inflation, and he plans to address that. He also talks about a hot topic that's not just hot here in Tennessee, but all across the country, the surge of migrants at the southern border. He says that under the Biden administration, we've seen more and more migrants coming through this border, bringing drugs and crime. It's something that he's repeated through his campaign over and over again. And his speech involving all of those topics and more comes as he is facing criminal charges and has had 4 indictments. We heard just yesterday that he was making a joke about it. We were going to have you listen to that, but I'll tell you what he said instead. He says that he's been indicted more than some of the greatest criminals in the world for nothing. He says that if a plane flew over a blue state, he would get a subpoena to report to a federal judge. Afterwards, people here at the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center laughed. Some of them clapped. So seems like regardless of those criminal charges he is facing, still has a lot of support. And that shows because he is the front runner still of the Republican Party. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. And Trump does face off against Nikki Haley in tomorrow's first in the South Carolina Republican primary.
Yep. So despite Mr. Trump's commanding lead in the state, though, Nikki Haley says she is not planning as of now to drop out of the race.
All right, we're going to check in now with your Friday forecast. Is there more rain on the way, Greg?
There is, but not for quite some time. Most of what we're going to see here between now and Wednesday, very inconsequential. Nothing like yesterday. We did have the thunder, we had the lightning, even a little bit of small hail north of the Nashville area. That's all done. Showers are moving out. Just wet pavement to start, and then colder mornings beginning tomorrow. Right side of your screen is showing you your current temperatures are in the 40s to right near 50 to kick off this morning. Sunday is the better day to get out, though, because looking at the 7-day forecast, you can see we have a little dip in temperature. Both mornings are cold, but tomorrow afternoon, only 52 degrees. Coming up in your Code Red forecast in about 5 minutes, we'll look at any potential for a few snow flurries tomorrow. Who has the best chance of seeing a couple of flakes flying around?
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning at 6:06. Quick look at 3 different accidents. 3, okay? We picked up in the last few minutes. Here's one. I-24 Bell Road, making that drive in from the Antioch area. We do have a crash over here on the shoulder, holding things up a little bit. You can use Murfreesboro Road to steer clear. Here's that accident on 65 near Trinity Lane on the north side. An ambulance has arrived. The fire truck is there as well, dealing with 2 cars here on the shoulder of the road, slowing things down. You can use Ellington Parkway to steer clear of this. And the latest crash we just picked up here, I-24 at I-440, crash on the shoulder, slowing things up back behind it. This happened very, very quickly. We picked up 3 accidents in about 10 minutes. Please be careful out there.
Justin, thank you. 6:07 is the time right now. Social media companies targeting children. That story continues to make headlines.
Not, but all with big savings. Town and Country Ford in Madison.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Electronic Express. We make it happen.
6:09 is the time. The Rutherford County School Board voted overnight to join a lawsuit against most of the major social media companies. Their lawsuit says that the companies have failed to enforce their own age verification measures, and they also have intentionally put in programming and algorithms that leads teenagers to have endless scrolling. They also say they have failed to protect minors from what they consider to be harmful materials. Now, the school system says they don't even care if they win any money from this or not. They just want to make a statement and hopefully make some change.
There's no way for us to lose money, but even if there was a way for us to gain money from it, or there wasn't, I would still be completely for this. I don't think there's anybody that has kids that doesn't think this is an issue. So this is a wonderful thing, and I hope that this suit goes through in favor of districts all over the nation.
Now, keep in mind that Rutherford County is joining this lawsuit. They're not starting it. They will not have to pay for any of the attorney's fees, win or lose.
6:10 your time, taking a look ahead to next week. We've been breaking down today and this weekend quite extensively. So today 62, 52 degrees tomorrow, and then 68 on Sunday. And no real big threats here that we have to be concerned about. Maybe a few snowflakes in the Cumberland Plateau early tomorrow morning. This is the big one we have to watch. And if I'm already talking about it a good 5 days away, we know this is what we have to really get concerned about. This entire area, all of Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky, have a chance for severe weather afternoon toward the evening. And as of right now, all 3 of the big ones when it comes to severe weather cannot be ruled out. Hail, wind, and even the possibility of a few tornadoes. But that's not for us necessarily. That's a whole big chunk of real estate there where all that could potentially happen. So here we are on Future Track Tuesday into Wednesday. Tuesday, not much happening. Wednesday is the day we have to watch. So we'll fast forward this through and get you there. This is Wednesday morning, and then we take it through 9 a.m. Things start to move in. Afternoon, steady rainfall. Watch when the yellows begin to blossom here going into the evening. That's our best chance for any severe weather, and it's that exact same area that we just had circled. So our big emphasis this weekend and into next week, continuing to watch how this may change and to lock down the timing and threats for you.
Steer clear traffic at 6:12 this morning. Let's get you to I-24 Bell Road. That's where we are following one of 3 accidents here, slowing things up from the south and east side. You want to try to take Murfreesboro Road if you can to steer clear of this. We're also dealing with the leftovers of this crash. May have involved some injuries. I-65 at Trinity Lane here on the north side. You can see the ambulance on the scene here. TDOT is also there as well, slowing things up. You want to take Ellington Parkway is a good way to steer clear. We also have another accident on I-24 near I-440. We're going to get you the details of that coming up in a few minutes. Well, coming up, Metro Police say they've arrested 2 men who could be involved in more than a dozen robbery cases. We're going to tell you what officers found while searching their homes. And a major part of Nashville's Black history.
Get severe weather alerts. Download the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather app.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet Buick GMC of Nashville.
At 6:14 and new this Friday morning, Metro Police say they arrested 2 serial robbery suspects who may have been involved in more than a dozen robberies over in South Nashville.
I know they're glad to have these people off the street, people living in that area getting hopefully some relief. Here's what we know so far this morning. 26-year-old Jorge Alvarado and 34-year-old Carlos Beltran Jr., both accused of robbing a man in South Nashville in a parking lot Wednesday night. Well, police stopped their car, arrested the men, and then searched their house in Laverne just yesterday, where they found all of this, guns and evidence, police say, linking them to other crimes.
Yeah, the two are currently being held at a $152,000 bond, each of them. Now to Operation Crime and Justice, because two men facing federal charges after Metro Police say they found more than 4 pounds of fentanyl and 35 pounds of cocaine at a high-rise downtown apartment.
Wow, that's a lot. We are learning more about the discovery through a grand jury indictment that we had a chance to look at. Here's what we know about this case. Brandon Osteen and Anthony Gloss are, in addition to the drug charges, facing weapons counts if convicted. Both men face 30 years to life in prison.
During this Black History Month, Fox 17 News, we have taken a closer look at Nashville's historically black neighborhoods, and that does include Jefferson Street.
It's a once thriving center of black commerce in Nashville, and historians say that neighborhood was forever damaged by the construction of I-40.
Fox 17 News, Justin McFarland taking a closer look at some of the ideas for the future of Jefferson Street. Listen here.
These pictures represent Jefferson Street's proud history and education. It is currently home to 3 historically black colleges or universities. It also has a very rich musical heritage. Jimi Hendrix, pictured here on the left, used to play Jefferson Street. And Ray Charles, just a few of the names who once played there. But that was decades ago.
We'll never have the same Jefferson Street, and we shouldn't have. We shouldn't have a community that's 99% African American, with all the businesses and nightclubs playing just basically rhythm and blues.
Former Metro Council member and historian Ed Kendall says that Jefferson Street still has a lot going for it, but it can't go back.
I think we're going to accept the fact that gentrification is going to occur. There's really nothing wrong with it. And gentrification, a lot of people misunderstand what it means. Gentrification is not white and black. It's money and no money. It's really about economics when you talk about gentrification. It's who can afford to move in that area.
And that includes locations like this. These are renderings of brand new developments that are proposed for Jefferson Street. There's also talk about a brand new Major League Baseball stadium that would be located very close to Jefferson Street, just across the street from Tennessee State University. Kendall says he's got ideas of his own.
What I would like to see on Jefferson Street, and I've been talking about this for about 30 years, is a motel, right there at 26 Jefferson Street. Harold Love Sr., when he was living, we talked about that often. And my concept was, by having it there, it would be the first, I think now, be the first hotel you would see coming from the West. And it's located right between all the universities, Tennessee State, Fisk, and Meharry. Give them all 1.5% interest in it. I mean, that's some ideas of how to really make the thing work.
It's just one of many ideas in a neighborhood where change is almost guaranteed, but the future is still uncertain. I'm Justin McFarland, Fox 17 News, your Corvette station.
Justin, thank you so much for that report. 6:18 is the time right now. Happy Friday.
Yes.
Hope you've got a nice day on tap or maybe fun plans for the weekend. How about you, Greg?
Wedding planning.
Ooh.
Which can either be really, really fun or completely stressful.
It's getting closer. Now, I'm noticing a cute picture behind you there in the Weather Center. Did you see that?
Oh, yes. Timba, Skippy, and Coco.
Yeah, look at these 3. Stop looking at this and look at them, because they are adorable. Look at them.
Aww.
First of all, they're all posing, but slightly differently. They're not all looking the exact same way. One's a little stoic, one's a little, I didn't do that. And the other one is like, hey, I'm in charge. I love the whole thing here. Thank you for sending this in, Ronnie. And look at your forecast. You're trying to get out the door for any dog walking this morning. 51 at 9 a.m., 60 degrees at noon, and 60 at 3 p.m. Sunshine increasing throughout our day. The morning hours, though, the next couple of hours, we're in the 40s. And that's not a bad place. Honestly, compared to the weekend, we feel good. We're going to be in the middle 30s tomorrow morning and on Sunday morning. Taking a look, sunshine does increase, so it's not going to be in one of those days where you're trying to dodge rain showers, kind of like yesterday evening. If you didn't get out right before that first little push of rain moved in, we had those thunderstorms. How do you send in your photos? You go to Facebook, meteorologist Greg Bobus. That's the pinned post at the top. My mail carrier is loving all the pictures you're sending in. I mean, you get just send the picture in. We already know your name. Let us know your doggo's name, and then if you want to tell us where you're from or a fun little story, you just might hear it when we show your dog of the day right here on Fox 17 News each and every day, each and every morning.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. A number of things to share with you. We're going to get started on the north side, I-65 at Trinity Lane. That is where we are dealing with a crash on the shoulder of the road. TDOT is there. An ambulance is there as well. This crash may have some injuries. Believe now it involves up to 3 cars, 1, 2, and 3 right over there. So a multi-car crash to be certain. You want to try to take Ellington Parkway. It's the best way to steer clear of this. We're also following the crash over south and east of Nashville. This is going to be I-40 right at I-440, very close to the junction there. This particular crash has got traffic backed up a little ways. You want to try to take Murfreesboro Road or Elm Hill Pike, depending on where you're coming from. That's going to be your best bet to steer clear. If not, the traffic is going to back up on you very quickly.
Justin, thank you. New this Friday morning, we're getting a closer look at the state-by-state breakdown of the $1.2 billion in SAVE Plan forgiveness.
We're talking about the college loan debt that's being forgiven on the part of President Biden. The process begins this morning, reportedly, here in Tennessee. About 3,300 borrowers will be given $25.7 million in loan forgiveness. Now, Texas has the highest number of borrowers who qualified under this Biden plan. More than 14,000 people will be forgiven $116 million. After Texas, we have California and Florida. Now, mind you, this is a loan forgiveness plan that does not have the full support of Congress. And this debt that is being forgiven will have to be made up somewhere, somehow in budgeting. So definitely controversial.
Yes.
You know, for the folks who are receiving the forgiveness, you know, like winning the lottery, for many other Americans who, you know, went to college and paid their loans or still have outstanding debt. Certainly something that they're not feeling great about. But we'll continue to follow the story and the developments for you live through 9.
Well, coming up, the latest Grammy winners to make their way to the stage here in Music City.
Interest-free financing is available. The President's Day sale extended through Sunday at all 3 Lazy Boy locations.
The Champions Wildcard competition continues on Jeopardy!
6:24 is the time this morning in Clarksville. Police need your help finding this burglary suspect right here. Detectives say this person is responsible for breaking into the Riverside Super Laundromat and stole several items. It's nothing worse than going to the laundromat, you're washing your clothes, and come back and your clothes are gone. Or maybe some of your personal items that you took out of your pockets or whatever, you turn your back for a few minutes, it's all gone. They say if you have any information about who this is, you're asked to contact the Clarksville Police Department.
Right now at 6:25, a few headlines in your forecast here for your Friday. Hope your day is off to a great start. We did get a little bit of rain overnight. You might have had thunderstorms like we did north of Nashville. But for your Friday and heading into the weekend, 3 things to know. First of all, those showers that we had overnight are going to be moving out. A little bit of wet pavement and wet grass outside this morning to start. If you have dogs that you have to take out, they could have some muddy paws when they come back in. Colder mornings for the weekend. Sunday is going to be the better day to get out and about. And then there is the chance of flurries overnight into tomorrow morning, but mainly on the plateau. Greg will join us again in just a few minutes to give you a more in-depth look at your forecast.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get a good look at what we're dealing with here at I-24 here at Bell Road, making that drive in from the south and the east side. Metro Police have got 1 lane of 24 shut off right now as you make that drive in. It is going to slow things up coming in from the south and east side. We'll give you details in a second, but you can use Murfreesboro Road to steer clear. Still dealing with this crash on the north side, 65 at Trinity Lane. 3 cars involved with this. The good news is the ambulance has left, so hopefully people are getting the help that they need. You can use Ellington Parkway to steer clear of that. And one more to tell you about. This is going to be I-40 at the I-24 junction from the south and east side. You want to use Murfreesboro Road or Elm Hill Pike is the best way to steer clear of this, as we picked up accidents very quickly in a small cluster over the last few minutes.
All right. Justin, thank you. New this morning, Grammy Award winners, the Kings of Leon, will be stopping in Nashville for their 2024 World Tour.
Now, the band announced the tour along with a new album. The new album is called Can We Please Have Fun? It's going to be released coming up on May the 10th. They'll be in Nashville coming up on September the 26th down at Bridgestone Arena. By the way, it's their only stop here in Tennessee. Sorry, Memphis. Sorry, Knoxville. Tickets will be available during the pre-sale coming up here on February 27th. That is when general public seats go on sale. Actually, that's coming up in March.
Hot topic right now in Tennessee. It is the debate over our governor's school voucher bill, giving families a choice on where to send their children and getting money from the state to do that. What the current proposals could mean for families and schools here in the mid-state.
And the former president.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Friday morning, two school voucher proposals are the talk of state legislature. What they might mean for families and schools.
Rain and storms overnight usher in a Friday morning where we are live in Nashville right now for you. We'll track your Friday forecast, the potential for some flurries tonight and into tomorrow morning. Plus, we're going to look a few days down the road at the potential for some severe weather next week. A lot to get to in this 6:30 half hour.
Plus, steer clear traffic takes us to I-24. This is near Bell Road. We still have a crash shutting down one lane. We're going to tell you the best ways to steer clear, plus your latest drive times.
All right. Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Friday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're your live local news source through 9 a.m. And we begin this morning with the newest updates from overnight as former President Donald Trump addresses Christian broadcasters at the Gaylord Opryland. Now, we'll tell you that he was running significantly behind last night. In fact, did not address this group until almost 10:40 p.m.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joining us to give us an update and share his message.
Former President Donald Trump pledged to restore Christian values, which resonated with Christian broadcasters. We saw hundreds of his supporters go down this road towards the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center to hear his speech, some of them wearing hats that said, "Make America Pray Again," from Trump's catchphrase, "Make America Great Again." Part of Trump's mission here was to relate to conservative Christians. He promised if reelected, he would defend the Christian broadcasters and their content. He also promised to protect God in public spaces and appoint a task force to fight anti-Christian bias, including federal prosecution. You might remember we covered the 6 anti-abortion protesters convicted of federal felonies in the Mount Juliet clinic blockade. That's some of the people he said he would be defending.
Under crooked Joe Biden, pro-lifers are now being hunted down by the Biden regime as enemies of the state.
Other key issues he spoke about was fixing inflation and also the surge of migrants at the border. Reporting in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. And Trump does face off against Nikki Haley in tomorrow's first in the South Carolina Republican primary.
He does have a commanding lead in South Carolina right now. Nikki Haley continues to say she will not drop out of the race.
Want to check in now for your Friday forecast. Hopefully some sunshine.
Oh, we'll break into some. Just peeked outside. It's still fairly overcast for now, but that's going to change. We will get sun by this afternoon. We're slowly drying out from all that rain we had last night. It moved in real quick, but boy, was it loud, and it was a lightning show if you were looking out your window. Now we're done with that. Now we talk about winter for about 36 hours that'll start tonight. 35 degrees overnight tonight, and a few of us will see a couple of flurries. We'll touch on that in a moment. Most of us get nothing. Then next week, this is a bigger weather maker that we're much more concerned about. I'm not worried about it necessarily, but we're concerned about watching it because it could have some severe weather. Here's in the meantime, though, what I meant by flurries, mainly east of I-65. Most of us don't see anything. No impact to those who do get a couple of snowflakes. Best chance will be Cumberland Plateau early in the morning. We'll break up the cloud cover that remains after that and lead to the end of our day being fairly sunny but a little bit cooler. We're going to be at 61 degrees this afternoon, 52 tomorrow, 68 on Sunday. That is your get outside day. Easily for the afternoon, and then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, all going to be in the 70s. We'll talk more about that severe weather potential Tuesday into Wednesday and look at future track for that Saturday flurry situation coming up in a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic takes us down to I-24 Bell Road. That's where we continue to follow a crash, slowing things up there from the Murfreesboro Road area. What you want to do, or excuse me, from the Bell Road area on I-24, you want to use Murfreesboro Road as the best way to steer clear as you come down from Antioch. They've got one lane blocked off here, and it is causing some delays. Let's take you to the latest drive times. These are fresh out the oven for you. 34 minutes coming in from Hendersonville, 68 minutes out of Murfreesboro, 27 minutes out of Mount Juliet. We'll continue to follow things out there for you, let you know whatever we find live and local through 9.
Justin, thank you. Crisis in the classroom right now. New information about the competing education bills in our state legislature that do include universal school choice. Now, if this is something that's kind of new on your radar, this is the current debate in the House, in the Senate, in Tennessee, with regards to giving families money from the state to go to the school of their choice.
House and Senate leaders, they talked about their respective bills after their sessions wrapped up yesterday. So what you need to know is that we should see the House version filed Monday at the very latest. The Senate version, though, which is out, includes language that goes well beyond traditional school choice. Listen.
Let's say you wanted to go from Davidson to Williamson County, and there's a difference in funding. So and with our bill, the amendment, we have a $7,000 part that travels with the child.
We say that we are a fiscally conservative state. We want to be good stewards of our taxpayers' dollars, but we are expanding a program that has not yet given us proof that it works.
House leaders call their version an omnibus education bill that includes vouchers. They also say their bill does include teacher pay raises and fewer mandated state testing.
6:36 right now. We have a silver alert here in Tennessee, where the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is asking you to be on the lookout for this man who is now missing from Clarksville. Now, typically when the TBI issues a silver alert, it is for someone who could not get home on their own without some type of assistance. This is Howard Miller. He's 42. He was last seen in Clarksville near North Main Street wearing this tan hoodie and blue jeans. If you know anything about him or know where he might be, you are asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
In a couple of minutes, we're going to be talking about hot slaw and the push to make hot slaw our state food. An update on a story that really ruffled a lot of people's opinions here in Tennessee.
Making your voice heard, the latest on early voting here.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Destin Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
6:39 is the time here on this Friday morning. An update now to a hot button issue at the state capitol. Not really, but it is surrounding hot food, and it does get a little competitive. I've been listening to this.
Well, yeah, because here in Tennessee, people feel very strongly about their favorite foods.
Yes, they do.
Now, we first told you about the push to make hot slaw the official food of Tennessee a few weeks ago. Many of us have lived in Tennessee for years, and we had never even heard of it. So it was put up to be named one of Tennessee's state foods. It did pass the House and the Senate unanimously. Again, this is hot slaw.
Yes, hot slaw from Cleveland, Tennessee. Now the governor will sign the resolution, or he's expected to. Hot slaw typically contains mustard, vinegar, and hot pepper, and is served cold, okay? Not hot. The dish was invented at the Starview Drive-In Theater in Cleveland, Tennessee. By the way, the delegation from Memphis is already preparing their resolution for next year.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure the delegation from Nashville will be doing the same for our foods.
With regards to barbecue.
Yes.
Now, our Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Brett Luna had a little bit of fun with this story. As a matter of fact, Brett learned how to make hot slaw. And if you want to watch that piece, it is a lot of fun. Head to our website, fox17.com, and search hot slaw. You need to know this before you watch it. Brett is a Tennessee native.
He is, through and through.
Now, he's from West Tennessee.
He is.
Where they're very proud of their barbecue.
They are. And again, that delegation, they say they're already working on their resolution for next year. So look forward to that. Let's look forward to the weekend. Greg Pope is standing by.
I mean, if y'all ever want to send me out to eat food, please feel free. Jealousy over here. Taking a look, future track. This is the rest of today. Nothing happening for us here going into tomorrow. that chance for a flurry or two that I mentioned. We'll find it here. We'll attempt to. You may not even be able to see it. It's so light on the screen. Moving our way into 4 a.m., that little dot of green, a couple of those move in through southern Kentucky and then mainly into the plateau for the chance for a snowflake. Nothing really happens here for the majority of us. 99% of us see nothing. Those of us who do get a flake, not going to stick. No impact today. 62 and sunny. Temperatures right now, the currents right side of your screen. Those will be up there for you all the way through 9 a.m.
6:41 is the time. Steer clear traffic takes us over to I-40 at the I-24 junction. Just finished up with the crash in that area that's been towed away. We still have a disabled vehicle, though, right there near the zebra stripes, but you can get by. The earlier crashes, we had 3 of them. They have now all cleared. We are thankful for that. This is 65 at Trinity Lane on the north side where we had a crash with injuries a few moments ago. That crash has now cleared up. With just 4 days left of early voting. So remember, the opening hours for early voting locations is today from 8 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. and then tomorrow from 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Early voting centers are closed on Sunday, but they will reopen again coming up on Monday from 8 a.m. until 5:30. And then on Tuesday, by the way, going to be the last day of early voting. This is for the primary from 8 a.m. until 7 a.m. Those are the early voting hours.
Now, if early voting's not your thing and you want to vote on actual election day for the presidential primary in Tennessee, that's coming up March 5th. If you do want a list, though, of those early voting locations through Metro Nashville's website, we've got that linked for you right now at fox17.com.
6:42 is the time, and we do have some breaking news this Friday morning. We want to let you know the United States has announced more than 500 new sanctions against Russia over its invasion of Ukraine and the death of opposition leader Alexei Navalny. According to the BBC, export restrictions are now going to be imposed on nearly 100 firms or individuals. And in a statement, President Biden says the sanctions will ensure that Russian President Vladimir Putin pays an even steeper price for his aggression abroad and repression at home. In response, Russia says it significantly expanded a list of EU officials and politicians banned from entering Russia. It is unclear as of right now what impact these sanctions will have on Russia's economy.
Well, up next, separating fact from fiction. We're going to tell you what scientists say about the chances that solar flares caused the cell phone outages across the country yesterday.
And getting to the bottom of what AT&T at least says.
7 on Fox 17.
The Good Feet Store, improving people's lives 2 feet at a time.
Well, tax day is less than 2 months away, and if you haven't filed yet, some say it might be a good time to go ahead and start.
Yeah, one of the reasons to do it now is if you do make a mistake on your return, you still have time to correct it before the official April 15th filing deadline. And listen, we all just want to keep the IRS off our backs, right? And we know filing taxes can be stressful and sometimes complicated, and the smallest mistake can certainly throw things off.
Yeah, the IRS says common errors do include misspelling a name or just typing in the wrong social security number. Another common mistake is choosing the wrong filing status and then not listing your dependents correctly, and that can prevent you from receiving tax credits. And we don't want this. It can prevent you from getting a bigger refund. Using tax software, some say like TurboTax or H&R Block, that can also help guide you through the process. And if you file early and happen to make one of those mistakes, you still have time to make a correction.
Yeah, right. And in some cases, the IRS will even notify you about the error and then give you time to make that fix before the April 15th deadline.
Go ahead and mark your calendar.
We have an update to breaking news this morning on a story that we covered all morning yesterday and even throughout the day, that nationwide cell phone outage. Now, everybody should be back online this morning. AT&T saying that a software glitch in an update caused the outage. But a lot of people were wondering whether a solar flare could cause that kind of disruption.
We even talked about it yesterday. So right now, Fox 17 meteorologist Brett Luna getting answers from the Space Weather Prediction Center.
We had a few solar flares occur recently, and we had 2 of those that occurred before all those cell issues happened early Thursday morning. The first one of those peaking at 5:07 p.m. Central Time Wednesday, and then another one at 12:32 a.m. early Thursday morning. A solar flare is the solar system's largest explosive event. It's a sudden burst of electromagnetic energy, and this energy travels at the speed of light and only impacts the part of Earth that can actually see the flare, aka the sunlit side of the Earth. It just so happens that certain cell services also went down early Thursday morning, but according to experts, these events likely have no connection.
In our opinion, based off what we know with space weather, we can go as far as to say it's highly unlikely.
The frequencies that cellular systems generally operate upon are outside of the realm of frequencies that a solar flare would normally impact. A solar flare normally is just going to impact HF radio frequencies, so ham radio, people that are emergency response, that are trying to use those frequencies, operations like that.
Other types of solar activity, whether it be our solar radiation storms or geomagnetic storms, they can start to impact more specific technologies like satellites in space or our power grid, for instance, just to name a few, GPS accuracy among others. There's a lot of things that can happen, but those events did not happen either.
During solar flares or coronal mass ejections, these radio emissions can spike in both intensity and bandwidth. The radio noise can lower the signal to noise ratio for some terrestrial radio communications, leading to degraded or even a loss of communication. During the time of the widely reported outage, the Space Weather Prediction Center did measure a few so-called radio bursts, but they were not uncharacteristically large or at the typical frequencies of 4G and 5G cellular communications. They think it is unlikely that those were the source of the outages. Space Weather Prediction Center Service Coordinator Sean Dahl says we're at an active time when it comes to the sun. The sun operates on an 11-year cycle, so don't be surprised if you hear of more solar events throughout the rest of this year and even into 2026. Reporting in studio, Brett Luna, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Very interesting.
Okay, 6:50. We've moved on from that episode, but as you know, Brett was saying, and Greg, as you mentioned yesterday, we could still see that kind of activity for the next year and a half or so.
Yeah, easily, and you know, there's a lot to unpack with all of that. But basically, depending upon what the sun shoots at us, it can mess with certain things.
Force field activate.
Yeah, well, there are certain kinds of different rays and things, you know. Yeah, the magnetic force field activate. You're completely right. It'll try to, you know, pummel us with different types of rays, and we just say, get away. Taking a look here, getting you out the door. The 23rd of February gets us up to 61 degrees later on today. Look at you getting out the door, though. Temperatures are kind of showing off this morning. We're in the 40s right now. We'll get to 51 degrees at 9 a.m. Clouds are breaking up for us here to kick off the day. Really not a bad one. This is the day we're watching carefully. This is your Wednesday, next Wednesday. If I'm already looking to Wednesday, you know there's probably something that's churning that we're a little bit not necessarily concerned about heavily, but we know is the probability of a stormy day. Signals are already there. Strong storms are possible. Too soon for the specifics. What are the specifics? Timing, specific location, and also how strong a few of our risks may end up being. What do we do now? As a collective group, you and I, we stay up to date on the forecast. I'll keep updating you with it. You keep watching for those updates so when Wednesday comes, no one is caught off guard in terms of timing and what you have to prepare for. 61 degrees today, as I mentioned, 52 tomorrow, 68 on Sunday, and then temperatures soar back into the low to middle 70s Monday through Wednesday of next week.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Here's a look at Utah's Wasatch Back Mountains. But this snow, part of an avalanche that was discovered Wednesday on Mount Shasta, thought to have happened on President's Day during a strong 4-day-long winter storm. The Mount Shasta Avalanche Center says it likely started around 10,500 feet and slid to about 7,200. With walls up to 60 feet deep, the amount of snow is described as mind-boggling.
Steer clear traffic this morning takes us down to Rutherford County. Good morning out there, Laverne, Smyrna. You can take a look at the drive here for yourself. Things are packing up and slowing down. This is I-24 right at Waldron Road, and it is a parking lot and a school zone out there. So you're going to need some extra time if you're trying to fight through this monster, getting into downtown from Murfreesboro or from the Smyrna area. Taking a look at the drive time right now, 68 minutes overall coming in from Murfreesboro, and this time can swell. Yesterday it reached 87 minutes before it finally started going back down.
Justin, thank you. 6:52 is the time right now. Check out this video of a wild crash on an icy interstate. My gracious. This happened in China, where you can see cars are just clumped up and piled up. This looks like a parking lot on the interstate. Emergency crews working this area. Again, ice said to be to blame here. At the end of it all, more than 100 cars involved. Miraculously, though, just 9 injuries reported. Goodness gracious.
Well, a major facelift for a Gallatin landmark. What to expect from the Rosemont Mansion repairs.
And still to come on Fox 17 News this morning in our 7 o'clock hour.
Your car, how do you think they're going to deal with you about your injuries? We can help. Call us at 615-242-9000.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Just a few minutes before 7 o'clock, we go to Gallatin right now, where the historic Rosemont Mansion is about to get some big repairs.
Yeah, so the mansion is getting a $53,000 grant for maintenance and improvement from the state of Tennessee. We do understand the money is going to be used for repairing and rehabilitating the south side veranda area.
Yeah, basically several years ago, in fact decades ago, they put some aluminum siding over an original portion of this mansion to try to preserve it, but they're now going to remove it, saying that they want to bring back the original character. So dating back to 1883, the Rosemont Mansion is just south of the historic Gallatin Square and right across the street from the Pelican Snowball, which is a favorite there in Gallatin.
Let's talk of science. NASA is releasing a new image after they say the sun emitted 2 strong solar flares this week. We talked about that here this morning. Well, the image that we're showing you on the screen is from the agency's Solar Dynamics Observatory. It uses extreme ultraviolet light to make the flares visible.
Pretty cool. NASA does confirm that a flare did peak Wednesday night and then the other one early Thursday morning. We had Brett break it all down for us. If you want to see that in-depth explanation, we'll get it posted for you at fox17.com.
And here we go, closing in on our 7 o'clock hour. This is still Severe Weather Awareness Week. Every day we've covered every topic that has been on the list. And today, your Friday is talking about weather radios. Do you have one? Have you even heard of one? Well, they're very helpful because say your power goes out, they can alert you to your county. And they can also, not just do that, with an electric and then battery backup, they can also work anywhere in the country. So say you move, you can take your radio with you, you can plug in the code for your county, you can look that up very easily online, and then you can even put in the specific alerts you want it to give you, depending upon what's most important to you. Also important to note, we have no big weather coming on today, but there's a tornado siren test at 9:30. Now, they're only for outdoor use, but if you hear the sirens going off at 9:30 a.m., do not worry. We're just making sure that all the equipment is good to go for the next time that we do have severe weather. Not every county has a siren, so if you don't hear them at all, don't think, well, mine's broken. That's not the case. And again, only for outdoor use. And the National Weather Service and all local media, we don't control them. They are done by local establishments, whether it is the police department, the fire department. But that test, 9:30 this morning.
All right, Greg, good to know. Thank you. 2 minutes before 7, steer clear traffic. Sun glare really coming in strong this morning. Make sure you grab the sunglasses before you head out the door. No problems right here as we take a live look. I-40 at Donaldson Pike. That's the airport exit, and no issues there. We do have a couple of other slowdowns for you that we're monitoring, though, primarily north of Nashville and down in Laverne. We'll bring you updates on those 2 locations in minutes.
Right now, let's get to continuing coverage surrounding the debate over raising the minimum wage, as one lawmaker is pushing for a substantial hike.
State Representative Gloria Johnson, who is a Democrat, wants people in Tennessee to make at least $20 an hour minimum. Right now, there is no state minimum wage, so companies resort to the federal minimum wage, which is $7.25 an hour. By the way, that hasn't changed since 2009. Gloria Johnson argues with rising costs, the pay should keep up.
Critics say raising minimum pay, though, would cause businesses to then, in turn, raise prices. And we do want to know what you think about this. Do you support a $20 hourly minimum wage for Tennesseans? As of right now, 2,300 votes coming in. 66.7% of you all say, no, you do not support this. You can sound off right now by going to our Fox Nashville X account.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Good morning to you. Ruling out the rumors of a cyber attack. Cell phone service on several networks nationwide slowly being restored this Friday morning. The issue that AT&T says caused their wireless meltdown. And former President Trump making a stop in Music City overnight, speaking to a core base. His message to Christians here in Tennessee. And we do have some new information this morning about the competing education bills in our legislature that would include universal school choice. More on the governor's plan in our 7 o'clock hour.
The Thursday thunder has come and gone. Now the Saturday snow flurries in the forecast. Who can expect a couple of flakes coming up in just minutes?
Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Friday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. Getting started with our local headlines this 7 o'clock hour right now.
It's a true honor to be here in this beautiful Nashville. This is a great place. With the National Religious Broadcasters, what an important group. They're giving you a hard time in Washington, but you won't have a hard time in about 11 months from now, I can tell you.
You heard the cheers and making headlines this Friday morning. Former President Donald Trump taking the stage at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention over at the Gaylord Opryland. He delivered a speech about what the next 4 years would look like under his leadership.
We're going to save this country. It will be thanks to the men and women like you, like the people in this audience, and we are represented by the best, the people who make God's work your work, God's work your work. That's what you do. And
the former president also spoke about bringing back common sense principles to education that focus on faith, family, and freedom. Now, Trump faces off against Nikki Haley in tomorrow's first in the South Carolina Republican primary. And despite his commanding lead in state polls, Haley says she is not dropping out of the race. You can watch that full speech from last night over on Fox17.com.
Impacting tens of thousands of people around the country and right here at home. This morning, we know AT&T has now explained what happened yesterday. Not a cyber attack. The company says that outage that we experienced was likely caused by a coding error in a system upgrade. But we do know this morning that the investigation into the matter does continue. The FBI also reports they've been in contact with the cellular providers to determine whether there was any kind of malicious activity involved. Now, as for the mid-state, we did have several counties impacted at our 911 centers. Rutherford, Lawrence, Wilson counties all telling us that nobody could call 911 for hours yesterday. Wilson County is saying, you can use text messaging in the event of a cellular outage. Murray County says try turning your phone off and turning it back on, see if you still have a problem. And listen, as a last resort, if or when this does happen again, try to get to a landline phone that's not impacted by that wireless outage.
7:02 and a look at your forecast. The big three things we're waking up to here to just get you headed into the weekend and get this Friday started. Showers moving out. They've moved out overnight now, just the lingering effect of that. There could still be a patch or two of some wet pavement in some low-lying areas, but not a real big weather impact at the start of your day. Colder morning starting tomorrow. 35 degrees for Saturday morning, 35 degrees for Sunday morning. As far as the afternoons are concerned, Sunday's the pick of the day to get outside. Warmer, up near 70 degrees and some sunshine. So not all bad for the weekend, but a few light flurries could be out there. We're seeing nothing right now, decrease in clouds over Nashville. And again, mainly cloudy to start, but we are seeing the clouds gradually dissipate for us as that rain has ended. So we're trending in a good place. Taking a look though. All clear, but what can you expect for Saturday from the Cumberland Plateau and southern Kentucky? The possibility of a few light snowflakes flying. Flurries at best, and this is not going to be any impact to us. It's not going to do anything other than catch you off guard if you go, what are you talking about? It was 70 degrees 3 days ago and now I've got snow. That's where we're going to be for the morning. But look, middle of your screen to the right. 70s 3 days in a row, Monday through Wednesday, and a chance for strong storms. A lot to break down in the next few checks of your Code Red forecast.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get to I-24 Waldron Road, making that drive in from Rutherford County. Things have become very slow out that direction. So please know before you leave the house right now, it's going to be a bit of a drive from Murfreesboro into downtown as you make your way through. This is Laverne here, but the backup goes further back towards the Sam Ridley Parkway area into Smyrna. So heads up coming in there. It's going to be slow. We're going to tell you how slow coming up here in just a second. Also want to show you this. This is the sun glare coming on from I-40 at Donaldson Pike at the airport. The airport itself is doing fine, but that sun glare, boy, you're going to need your sunglasses, a visor, something to try and make sure that you don't have an impact from that. This also goes for people driving down I-24 coming down from Clarksville. They also have similar problems to this as well. So let's take a look at those drive times right now. Spring Hill, 47 minutes in from the south side of town, up I-65 coming in from Murray County. 68 minutes coming in from Murfreesboro. That means if you left Murfreesboro right now, you would get to Nashville around 8:15. So if you know you got to be there sooner than that, you need to make a move. Clarksville Pike, 62 minutes on that drive coming down from Montgomery County. We'll continue to watch the roads here for you this morning, let you know about anything that we find. We had 3 earlier accidents. They have all cleared.
Now to breaking news this Friday morning. We are getting some more updates about hundreds of new sanctions announced by the U.S. against Russia. President Joe Biden says this is over Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the death of opposition leader Alexei Navalny. Now, according to the BBC, export restrictions are now going to be imposed on nearly 100 firms or individuals. This announcement comes one day before the 2-year anniversary of Russia's attack on Ukraine. President Biden issuing a statement this morning on the sanctions, saying in part, and I'm quoting here, they will ensure Putin pays an even steeper price for his aggression abroad and repression at home. He also used the opportunity to push for a bipartisan funding bill for Ukraine. A lot of folks talking about that. Well, Biden says the failure to support them at this moment, quote, will not be forgotten.
Now, it is our goal every weekday morning to keep you in the know, and you can get more reporting just like this delivered straight to your inbox. Not only are we here for you live through 9 a.m., and we've got you covered on our social media platforms, you can get an email straight to your inbox every morning with the day's latest headlines. You can sign up for it right now at fox17.com.
Well, up next, the Rutherford County School Board voting overnight to join a lawsuit against most social media companies. We're going to tell you about that lawsuit that companies are facing right now that is having them trying to defend themselves about whether or not they do enough to protect minors on the internet.
We're also looking ahead, trying to reclaim some of the vibrancy of Nashville's Black history.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Tennessee Home Buyers.
7:09 is the time. The Rutherford County School Board voted overnight to join a lawsuit. Now, this lawsuit is against most of the major social media companies. They say this lawsuit, which, by the way, several other school systems across the country have joined, is because these social media companies have failed to enforce age verification measures. They also say they have programmed algorithms to make sure that teens stay on their platform with endless scrolling. They also say they have not kept teens safe from harmful materials not meant for minors. Now, Rutherford County schools say they don't care if they ever see a dime of any damages. What they really want is change.
We are at a crisis point with our kids, and what started out as bad has only gotten worse, and since COVID, it seems like it's even worse. And I concur, whether we get a dime out of this or not, it sends a message, and maybe it'll finally do some good.
Well, keep in mind that Rutherford County is joining this lawsuit. They didn't start it, therefore they will not have to pay any attorney's fees, whether they win or lose.
7:10 your time. We'll look at your forecast getting out the door on your Friday morning, and we are not worrying about much here. Bus stop, we don't need an umbrella this time. We needed it in a couple of spots for the afternoon yesterday, but most of us stayed dry till later in the day. This time we're dry from start to finish. 48 degrees here will be your temperature in about an hour, so as buses are finishing up their routes, we're talking 40s across the board with decreasing clouds. What does this mean for the rest of today and into tomorrow? With the decreasing clouds, that means a sunny afternoon, but it also means relatively clear overnight. And that relatively clear overnight means that we'll get pretty cold pretty quickly, middle 30s overnight. And by 4 a.m., p.m. going into your Saturday morning, a few little specks of some green and blue could pop up here on future track and on the radar. We're talking about maybe a flurry out in the Cumberland Plateau. If you see any raindrops, any snowflakes, not a sign of any severe weather, not a sign of even a thunderstorm, just that, a couple of flakes or a couple of raindrops.
Well, up next on Fox 17 News this morning, we'll go back to Rutherford County. That's where we are dealing with a slow go out there. We're going to tell you the very latest way to steer clear, plus taking a stand.
Now, F-150s plus 1.9% financing for 72 months available. Some scratched, some didn't, some not, but all with big savings. Town and Country Ford in Madison.
Welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning. 7:13 is your time. We have continuing coverage now as state lawmakers are standing up against recent hate speech in Tennessee, approving a joint resolution to oppose and condemn neo-Nazism.
State Representative William Lambert filing a House resolution, after seeing self-proclaimed neo-Nazis march in downtown Nashville over the weekend. Lambert says the so-called blood tribe does not represent Tennessee or our shared values. He also promises local lawmakers will denounce any group backing anti-Semitism or racism. The resolution was adopted unanimously yesterday.
Bit of a wet start to your Friday, but things are going to clear out for the weekend. And just in time for the weekend, we have a trio of floofy friends.
It almost looks like the photo is staged because they all kind of have different expressions.
Well, this is part of our Dog of the Day segment. If
Yes.
you've been watching for any time, you know that Greg every morning will introduce you to our Dog of the Day. It just so happens we have 3 today, all in the same home.
All in the same home and all really well behaved quite clearly. And taking a look at the forecast going out the door, yesterday evening was tough to get a dog walk in. We had the showers, the thunderstorms. Well, Timba, Skippy, and Coco, the 3 dogs right there today. Look at those faces. I love it. Ronnie, thank you for this picture. It always makes our mornings when we can see little glimpses of your lives, whether it's sunrise pictures, your dogs of the day. You can always send those in. We just like seeing what you guys are seeing every day while we're, not here, or I should say not out there with you, and while we're in here. 51 degrees at 9 o'clock, 60 at noon, 60 degrees at 3 p.m. So the entire day will look good. We started off a little bit cooler a few hours ago, but we're getting our way back to the 50s. We'll be at 60 by noon, and there's just no turning back. The cloud cover decreases, and then we're good to go. You can send in your photos by going to Facebook, meteorologist Greg Bobus. You find that pinned post right there. All we need is your pet's name and a photograph. If you want to send us your location too, we can put your hometown on the map. Taking a look at going forward, what is the most significant thing we have to look at in the weather? Well, that's what we had yesterday. It's out of here, nothing to our west. The next day that I'm more concerned about is going to be when we get into Wednesday of next week. There are some signals already for a stormy weather day. Strong storms can't be ruled out. Specifics, what do I mean by that? I mean timing, specific location, and also the threats we see, how strong they could be. What do? We'll step with the forecast, up to date with it, and you just follow along, and we'll make sure that you know well in advance if we have any code red weather for any real indicators of severe weather. 61 this afternoon, 52 degrees tomorrow, 68 on Sunday, and then 70s. So yeah, a little blast of some cold there for 2 days, but we're right back into the 70s next week.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning takes us to I-40 at Spence Lane. That's where we are following the very latest on your drive coming in there from places like Donaldson and Hermitage and Antioch, anywhere east and south of town. We got you covered. You can see the traffic going back here for several miles as you make your way in, but nothing out of the ordinary. No major accidents out there to slow you up. So let's take a look at those drive times right now. Coming in from Franklin at 33 minutes, Murfreesboro 64 minutes, 62 minutes coming in from Clarksville. But again, no major crashes here so far. We'll continue to watch it live through 9.
In your community, Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell and his administration, they are starting a new effort, they say, to help people get healthier.
Now, the city is launching a first ever wellness opportunity zone. What is that? Well, now the goal here is to reduce high blood pressure among people living in Nashville. So the mayor is partnering up with the Matthew Walker Comprehensive Health Center on this project.
It's about nutrition, it's about fitness, it's about access to better food.
Well, the mayor there talking about this. We understand the center will act as a hub for patient care. Other groups will then be providing patients with heart-healthy meals and transportation to healthcare providers. Nashville is investing $1.5 million in this program alone.
The debate over minimum wage is heating up in Tennessee. Is $20 an hour too much for some minimum wage jobs? One local politician is fighting for it right now.
And a man is missing from Clarksville right here on your screen. The TBI asking for you to keep an eye out. We're going to show
of F-150s plus 1.9% financing for 72 months available. Some scratched, some didn't, some not, but all with big savings. Town and Country Ford in Madison.
7:21 is the time. Covering the economy this morning, State Representative Gloria Johnson is proposing a plan to significantly raise Tennessee's minimum wage.
Yeah, currently our state follows the federal minimum wage guidance, which starts at $7.25 an hour. Gloria Johnson, a Democrat, has now introduced a bill that would raise it to $20 an hour for folks here in Tennessee.
Now, she says the higher wages are a must to keep up with the high cost of rent and grocery prices. Johnson, who, by the way, is running for the United States Senate, says that she will push this very hard if she is selected here for the United States Senate, but wants this for the state of Tennessee as well.
Now, we are curious as to what you think about this idea. Would you support a $20 hourly minimum wage, regardless of the position, okay? Right now, 66% of you say no, you would not support a $20 an hour minimum wage for Tennessee. Yeah. You can sound off now. This is a live active poll. We've already got more than 2,300 of you sounding off.
Hot topic.
Yeah, head to twitter.com, search Fox Nashville, or you can scan the QR code right there on your screen.
Good morning, 7:22, looking at your forecast, getting us into the weekend. Today will be sunny and 62 degrees. We're already seeing that climbing temperature on the right side of your screen. Weekend takes a tumble, though, for Saturday. Waking up at 35 degrees, a little light snowflake or two, maybe a light raindrop or two for the morning hours of Saturday, especially east of I-65. Can't be ruled out. That's pretty much it, just the cooler starts to the day. Then, super for Sunday. Sunday afternoon, we turn the corner back into what most of last week was like. Our temperatures will get better at night in the 40s and 50s, and they'll get better during the daytimes. What can you catch overnight tonight into tomorrow morning? There'll be a little cloud cover out there, but most of us relatively clear. A full moon officially peaks at 6:30 tomorrow morning, but for most of us, it should be good to great viewing. We'll get many gaps in the cloud cover, mainly clear, but definitely chilly overnight going into the morning hours. Just keep that in mind. And if you get any pictures of the moon tomorrow morning, hop on my Facebook page, share them with us. You might see them right here on air, or even any videos that you may get of the moon and the clouds passing by it. You can always get weather updates on our X Pages Twitter, and you can also connect anywhere you want to with all the rest of us here at the station for your updates. This is Severe Weather Awareness Week today, Friday, national. This is, I should say, a statewide tornado drill at 9:30 this morning. So keep that in mind. If you hear these sirens going off, that's because they're supposed to. We're just testing all the equipment.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get to it here at I-24. This is at Old Hickory Boulevard. As you make that drive in from the Antioch Cane Ridge area, this is the same exit you would use for Cane Ridge High School. Things are very bunched up. Now, as of last check, I've not been able to find a crash on 24 this morning. This is just congestion, lots of apartments off of the interstates from Haywood Lane to Harding to Bell, all the way back to Hickory Hollow to Old Hickory Boulevard here to Waldron to Sam Ridley, all the way back into Murfreesboro. There's apartments just at every single exit, and that's what makes this as congested as it is. It's a fairly unique problem, the I-24, but it's part of why the congestion is where it is. You want to try to take Murfreesboro Road if you want to try and steer clear.
We have a silver alert this morning in Tennessee. These are issued when people are missing and may not be able to get home safely on their own. So the man you see here on your screen is the man investigators are looking for. The TBI asking everybody in the mid-state to help look for Howard Miller. He is 42 years old and was last seen near North Main Street in Clarksville wearing that tan hoodie and blue jeans.
If you know where he might be, you're asked to contact the Clarksville Police Department or perhaps the TBI, 1-800-TBI-FIND. Well, this morning in Crisis in the Classroom, there's new information about the competing education bills in the Tennessee legislature, and that does include universal school choice.
In other words, using state money for you to choose which school you want your child to attend, even if it's out of your zone and if it's a private school. House and Senate leaders talking about their respective bills after the sessions wrapped up yesterday. We should see the House version filed Monday at the latest. The Senate version, which is already out, includes language that goes well beyond traditional school choice.
Not just for private schools or charter schools, home schools, but also for public schools. If you want to go to a different public schools, maybe within your LEA, go to that school. If you want to go to a public school in your adjacent county or city, go to that school.
The House version is very different than the Senate version, and the Senate version is very different than the governor's version. And so I think they've got a long way to go in an uphill battle before they pass anything.
Well, House leaders say their bill may not make it to the House floor with enough votes for another 7 weeks. School vouchers are a hot topic, so if you want to watch all of our previous in-depth reporting on this, you can do so on our website, fox17.com. Just search vouchers.
And this morning, we have local investigators who now claim they've arrested 2 men who were involved in more than a dozen robberies here in the mid-state. We'll tell you what officers found when they got to their house.
And Clarksville police.
Or dream cookie or vehicle at sarahclarksville.com.
The Good Feet Store, improving people's lives 2 feet at a time.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
A lawsuit was filed this week by the Beacon Center for Tennessee to protect the interests of freelance journalists. Coming up, I'll have more information on that.
Waking up with some sunshine increasing throughout today, up near 60 degrees, but then we have a tumble back into winter when some of us could see snowflakes flying this weekend in your Code Red forecast.
Steer clear traffic from I-65 at the I-24 junction. It's a slow go. We're going to tell you the best ways to get around some of this backup.
I'm still stuck on Greg talking about snowflakes. All right, thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Friday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Yes, some of you might see them tonight going into tomorrow. Greg's going to nail it down for us here in just a couple of minutes. But first, we begin this half hour with an update from Metro Nashville police as they've arrested 2 people connected, they say, to several robberies around Nashville, more than a dozen, in fact, in South Nashville. 26-year-old George Alvaton and 34-year-old Carlos Beltran Jr. are accused of robbing a man in a South Nashville parking lot. This was on Wednesday night. While police, they stopped their car, arrested both of the men. Police searching the men's house over in Laverne yesterday, and when they were there, police say they found this. Okay, several guns and evidence also linking those men to 2 other crimes. They are currently being held on a $152,000 bond, each of them. In Clarksville, police say they need help finding the man you see right here on your screen wearing a hat and a mask. They say this person broke into the Riverside Super Laundromat and stole all kinds of stuff. So if you can help, they're really wanting to get this person off the streets. You can call Clarksville Police with any info. Well, developing this morning, a local watchdog group is taking on the federal government. The Beacon Center of Tennessee working to produce workers, specifically freelance journalists. Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us to explain what this means for Tennesseans.
Yes, and specifically freelance journalists Margaret Littman and Jennifer Chizak say that combined they have 40 years of working as freelance journalists. However, with the U.S. Department of Labor releasing a new test, that may not be on the horizon for them. They say that this new test is interfering with their ability to choose whether or not they will be classified as an employee or a freelance journalist. So they reached out to the Beacon Center for Tennessee, which is right here behind me inside this building, and the legal team filed a lawsuit on their behalf against the Department of Labor this week. It says that government agencies can't choose for people. It's illegal. The Department of Labor, as I mentioned, wants to do a test to determine whether a worker is a freelancer or an employee, and that's set to take effect on March 11th. They're trying to stop that. Beacon Director of Legal Affairs, Wen Fa, tells us a little bit more about why this is wrong.
They were scared. They were anxious. I mean, this is how they earn a living. Margaret Lippman has been a freelancer for 30 years now, and she loves freelance work because it gives her the opportunity to write about topics that she cares about in terms of travel and food and things like that. Jennifer Chitnick does freelance work because similarly, it gives her flexibility, control, and opportunity over her career.
A court date is not set yet at this moment because the U.S. Department of Labor has a couple weeks to respond. We also reached out to the U.S. Department of Labor ourselves for some answers, and we haven't heard back yet. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Good morning, it's 7:33. Taking a look at your Friday forecast and getting us toward the weekend. And today is a good-looking day. Started off a little bit on the cloudier side about 2 hours ago, but now we're breaking through with that sunshine, slowly drying out throughout the morning hours. And then by tomorrow, we'll see our temperatures continue to drop overnight back into the 30s, which could spark a few flurries in the Cumberland Plateau and through portions of southern Kentucky. This is not a big event. This is barely even able to be called an event. It's a couple of flurries at best. Severe weather possible next week. That is a much more likely scenario of a day we have to watch out for all of us getting some rain and some potentially strong storms. Here is that Saturday setup. We do start at 35 degrees. Now, location, mainly east of I-65, a couple of flurries with no impact. Most of us will see nothing. The timing is early morning, and then we're done with it, and we'll get back into the 50s. Right now, you can see a little mix of sun and clouds out there. We're starting with our temperatures that are in the 40s going up to the 50s and low 60s by the middle of the afternoon. What does it mean overall? We're going to go from 49 degrees right now to 50s by lunchtime, and then there is that high of 61 with the increasing sun. Sunday's the pick of the weekend, though, by far. 68 degrees, great day. Nighttime temperatures back into the 50s and 60s next week for the nighttime temps, and afternoons will be in the 70s.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Here's a quick look here at I-65 at the I-24 junction where things are slow. Making your way in from the north side of town. Very, very slow. This is where the traffic has built up here. If you make your way down from Madison, from Rivergate, from Goodlettsville, all areas north of town. Heads up out there. You want to try to take Ellington Parkway if you can. Dickerson Pike if you can. And that's going to be the best way for you to steer clear, because if not, you'll be stuck in this backup for a little bit. Things starting to improve ever so slightly on I-24 here at Old Hickory Boulevard, coming in from Antioch in the Cane Ridge area. So heads up there. You may want to try to take Murfreesboro Pike if you want, but other than that, you're good to go. Overall drive times here, 37 minutes in from Hendersonville, 60 minutes. Time starting to come down from Murfreesboro.
Justin, thank you. 7:35 is your time right now. And new this morning, a nonprofit government watchdog group called OpenTheBooks.com has found that in the last fiscal year, Metro Nashville paid vendors $3.4 billion, and about $500,000 of that went toward insurance.
Okay, joining us live this Friday morning is Rachel O'Brien to break down the findings. First question, Rachel, which Metro department spent the most money?
Yeah, so this is spending that Metro does outside of paying its employees. So it's third-party outside vendors. Unlike local governments, other local governments we've reviewed, Metro did a really good job at holding their previous year's vendor spending at the same amount. And so they haven't increased their spending last year from the year before.
What about
for instance, the finance department? They pay most of Metro's bills directly. And so the finance department, they spent $1 billion. The public schools, they spent the second largest amount, $837 million.
And what were some of the big projects, Rachel?
Yeah, so the water and sewer department was actually the third most expensive department. It was the same as the year before. They spent over $450 million. There are lots of projects. So they paid a construction firm, Brassfield and Gorey, over $106 million. That firm is working on the central wastewater treatment plant improvement project. They want to increase treatment capacity. $19 million to Walker Building Group. They're also working on water main and sewer infrastructure rehabilitation. This doesn't sound very exciting, but obviously these are big projects. that costs a lot of money. A piping company, Inform Technologies, $18 million for sewer system rehab, and a lot more spending like that.
All right, Rachel O'Brien with OpenTheBooks.com. Thanks for sharing some time with us and some updates this Friday morning.
At 7:37 right now, the latest Grammy winners to make their way to the stage in Music City. Do you recognize this group? We'll tell you where they'll be playing in one stop in Nashville on their new world tour.
Tell your story. I can help. Call us at 615-242-9000.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by the Rocky McElhaney Law Firm.
If you're just now waking up with us on Fox 17 News, we do have a breaking news international headline story. Israel's prime minister is unveiling a plan for Gaza's future after the war between Israel and Hamas ends. Well, the Associated Press says Benjamin Netanyahu presented his post-war plan to Israel's security cabinet overnight. Now, the plan calls for a demilitarization of Gaza and the creation of a buffer zone inside the territory. The Palestinian Authority rejecting the plan this morning and said it would amount to an Israeli reoccupation of Gaza.
Well, back here at home, and something in the music industry that might catch your attention. The Grammy Award winners, Kings of Leon, will be stopping in Nashville for their 2024 world tour.
Now, the band announced this tour along with an album. The name of the album, Can We Please Have Fun? It's going to be released coming up here on May the 10th. They're going to be in Nashville coming up on September the 26th over at Bridgestone Arena. It's their only stop in Tennessee. So if you want to check them out, you can do so coming up in September. The pre-sale starts on February 27th.
Well, new this morning, a lot of debate, controversy, some folks thrilled, others furious over the president's plan to forgive $1.2 billion worth of college loan debt.
Now, nearly 153,000 borrowers across the country are included in this latest round of student loan forgiveness. He's been doing this here basically throughout the presidency that he's had. That includes here in Tennessee, around 3,300 borrowers will be forgiven, around $25.7 million worth of student loans. By the way, the state of Texas had the highest numbers of borrowers who qualified, with around 14,000 people that's going to be forgiven. Listen now, $116 million worth of student loan debt. Now, Texas is closely followed by California and Florida, who had $114 million and $105 million forgiven, respectively. I know people are going to continue to speak out about this in a variety of ways.
Well, especially from the legal front, right? Is this vulnerable to any kind of legal attack, any kind of repercussions, any kind of interference? Something we'll be developing as we follow the news here on Fox 17 News this morning. Right now, let's get a check of the forecast with Greg. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Today's a good one, but tomorrow we're going to have a couple of snowflakes flying depending upon where you live. Flurries at best. So what am I putting it on the scale here? Meh. Nothing to write home about. No real impact here. Maybe a slick spot as the snow is actively coming down, but give it a half hour and nothing will stick, and those slick spots are gone, mainly in the plateau. That's pretty much the only place we have to watch. And really, every update I've been getting all morning long to Future Track has been showing fewer and fewer chances to see anything popping up. Here's midnight tonight. You can see one or two little green specks that move in. Through 4 a.m., same story. Might catch a sprinkle or two. And then going through 6 a.m., cloud cover takes over more than anything else. There was that light little patch of blue. That's all we have to work with.
Well, coming up in Steer Clear Traffic, we'll take you to I-40 at Spence Lane. That's where we've picked up our latest problem. We're going to tell you if there's a huge backup involved or not.
And Nashville SC's
% financing up to 60 months. Plus a $1,500 trade-in assist for any SUV trade. Trade-in assist cash now at North Nashville's Nissan of Rivergate in Madison.
Good morning and welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning, 7:45 right now. Gallatin's historic Rosemont Mansion is getting some money for much needed repairs. Now, if you live in the area and you're wondering, what is Rosemont Mansion? Well, this is just south of the historic square in Gallatin, right across from the Pelican Snowball place. And they're going to get about $53,000 for some maintenance and improvements to the mansion. That money is going to be used to fix part of the mansion itself that had been covered up for decades. So they're going to take off some aluminum siding and essentially refinish everything that was original underneath. Now, they do typically offer tours April through October for a minimum fee. And they hope that as they make these repairs, those tours will be more historically accurate going forward.
7:46 is the time. Okay, we continue on with Black History Month, and during this month, we've taken a closer look at some of Nashville's historically black neighborhoods.
And that does include Jefferson Street, once a thriving center of black commerce in Nashville. Historians say the neighborhood was forever damaged by the construction of I-40.
Now I'm taking a closer look at exactly what the future of Jefferson Street could be. Despite the damage done in the past, they believe they've got a bright one. These pictures represent Jefferson Street's proud history and education. It is currently home to 3 historically black colleges or universities. It also has a very rich musical heritage. Jimi Hendrix, pictured here on the left, used to play Jefferson Street. And Ray Charles, just a few of the names who once played there. But that was decades ago.
We'll never have the same Jefferson Street, and we shouldn't have. We shouldn't have a community that's 99% African American, with all the businesses and nightclubs playing just basically rhythm and blues.
Former Metro Council member and historian Ed Kendall says that Jefferson Street still has a lot going for it, but it can't go back.
I think we're going to accept the fact that gentrification is going to occur. There's really nothing wrong. And gentrification, a lot of people misunderstand what it means. Gentrification is not white and black. It's money and no money. It's really about economics when you talk about gentrification. It's who can afford to move in that area.
And that includes locations like this. These are renderings of brand new developments that are proposed for Jefferson Street. There's also talk about a brand new Major League Baseball stadium that would be located very close to Jefferson Street, just across the street from Tennessee State University. Kendall says he's got ideas of his own.
What I would like to see on Jefferson Street, and I've been talking about this for about 30 years, is a motel, right there at 26 Jefferson Street. Harold Love Sr., when he was living, we talked about that often. And my concept was, by having it there, it would be the first, I think now, be the first hotel you would see coming from the West. And it's located right between all the universities. Tennessee State, Fisk, and Meharry. Give them all 1.5% interest in it. I mean, that's some ideas of how to really make the thing work.
It's just one of many ideas in a neighborhood where change is almost guaranteed, but the future is still uncertain. I'm Justin McFarland, Fox 17 News, your Corvette station.
It is 7:49, and we know a lot of you who wake up with us in the morning are natives. You've been here for a while, but we also know we have a lot of new friends who have moved here from other states. And we want to take this opportunity to let you know about something happening next week as we get closer to severe weather season. The governor has now proclaimed next week Severe Weather Awareness Week, and he, along with us here at Fox 17 News, just want to encourage you to be thinking now about how you can be prepared in the event of severe weather here.
We tell everybody that. We say, okay, if you react in real time, you've already missed the boat. But if there's a plan in place, the whole family knowing their plan.
Right.
So like, oh, warning pops, everyone knows where to go immediately.
Right, we want you to be prepared and not scared.
Which sounds like such a cliche, but it's so easy
So true.
when you hear that phone go off in the middle of the night and it says tornado warning to immediately go into fight or flight mode.
But if you know what to do and you know where to go and you know how to go about it, you and the rest of the family have a better chance of staying safe.
That's the name of the game. And if you have any questions about that, look there on your screen. You can come ask any of the weather team tomorrow. Trevecca University from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. It is Severe Weather Awareness Day. Not only will we be there, members of the National Weather Service will be there, guest speakers will be there, a keynote speaker that if you follow weather closely on any social media, and you're kind of a weather nerd like I am, the name James Spann, iconic forecaster when it comes to severe weather. He is the keynote speaker tomorrow. So that's even a treat for me. You can come on out, you can say hi to us, have a couple of little goodies to pass out. We can tell you some weather stories. You can just tell us about you if you're brand new to the area. We'd love to see you out there. Taking a look at the forecast going forward. No severe weather now, but I'm always looking ahead to the next chance for it. And that's going to be Wednesday of next week. We have some signals in the forecast for a stormy day. Now, what does that mean when it comes to strong to severe storms? Too soon to tell timing. Too soon to tell exactly where, and also too soon to tell what might be our biggest threat, but as of right now, none of them are marked off in terms of possibilities. What do? We stay up to date with the forecast between now and then. We'll be doing the forecasting. You keep up with us to make sure that you're safe and you're good to go. Here's the area. It's a large chunk of real estate here that has the possibility of some severe weather. That includes all of Middle Tennessee and all of southern Kentucky. Taking a look here on Future Track. This is Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. And this is when we're going to have that chance move in. Slowly going into Wednesday morning, first band of rain moves in. Then afternoon and into the evening, things light up a little bit more. So we're going to watch this very carefully. And you follow along with us, we'll make sure you have days worth of advance if we start seeing signs of severe weather.
Steer clear traffic at 7:52. Quick look here on the east side of town. This is going to be I-40 at Spence Lane. No problems as you get out there this morning. We had a couple of disabled vehicles over on the shoulder. Metro Police got there quickly. So did the Tennessee Highway Patrol, and they were able to take care of that. So no more issues out there. Just congestion as you make that drive in and people approach the split trying to figure out what are they going to do. Are they going to go towards Nissan Stadium or are they going to go towards Broadway? That is the trouble at the split. Here's I-24 making that drive in from Old Hickory Boulevard in the Cambridge area, doing rather well this morning, but it doesn't have to be that way. We're going to tell you about your latest drive time and other issues happening there. Coming up here in the next, we got a car moving backwards down the shoulder here. Wasn't that interesting? As I just captured that out of the corner of my eye. Okay, hopefully that car is, I'm not sure where it would be going doing that. We're going to check in on this coming up here in a few. Wow.
Did they miss the exit? Did they lose something somewhere? All right, Justin, thank you. You just never know in Nashville, right? Hey, soccer season is back, and the boys in gold off to a great start in the Dominican Republic.
Ooh, that sounds nice. The boys in gold winning 3-0. That's right, a shootout. A good record for the first game of 2 against Mocha FC, fighting to move on to the Champions Cup.
All right, notable points here. Forward Tyler Boyd making his debut for Nashville, also scored last night. The next game for Nashville SC coming up Sunday at home against the New York Red Bulls.
Let's talk about hot slaw, a hot dish that ignited a hot debate where the plan to make hot slaw stands when it comes to our state lawmakers.
Yeah, they want to make it a state food.
Yeah.
Will it happen? Plus, speaking of food, a lot of us have taken off the heavy winter coats recently and enjoying the warmer weather, but could this recent weather pattern take a toll?
9 pizzas and 52 all-nighters. The meticulously refined Tiguan. Lease a new 2024 Tiguan S for $279 a month after a $500 customer bonus.
Welcome back. 7:56 is the time. If you're enjoying our warmer winter weather, food experts say they have a warning.
Yeah, here's the deal. The higher the temperatures this time of year, the greater chance we have of not enjoying our favorite fruits coming up in the spring and then even into the fall. So I know a lot of you like the warmer, sunny weather right now, but it's really not the best for a lot of our crops this time of year.
Agricultural experts say some plants go through a process called dormancy during the winter, so different plants need to be exposed to colder temperatures for various periods. That does help to strengthen them for when it's time to go ahead and bud. Listen here.
Take apples, for example. You can have some varieties that may need as little as 200 chilling units. You could have some that need up to 1,000 or more chilling units.
All right, that science might not make sense to you, but here's what you'll want to know. With warmer temperatures, the plants don't stay dormant for as long as they need to, which means when they, bud coming up in the spring, we could have damaged crops if we hit another cold spell, right? Okay. I also wanted to let you know, for example, locally, I've been hearing from some of our strawberry farmers who absolutely loved the snow and the really cold temperatures that we had a few weeks ago. So that just kind of speaks to what our local farmers are experiencing.
Yeah, you were talking about, because I want to go strawberry picking.
Yeah.
So hoping that everything works out. Budding wise,
we will see.
Budding wise as well. Oh, and a chilling unit. I happen to have Google over here.
Way to go, Greg.
You want to keep the temperature at least around 32 degrees, but not any warmer than 60 degrees for the high temperature for that day. They consider that one day where they can keep it dormant. Okay. So all these 70-degree days that we have knock off from that number. That's not good. It's not helping us out when it comes to all those fruits there. Taking a look. Cool temps for now. Now, I would say not terrible by any means, but definitely cooler. 35 degrees for your morning temperature Saturday and Sunday. We've been talking snowflakes all morning long. Snow flurries are still possible for the Cumberland Plateau tomorrow morning, but every little look at the forecast that I've seen and all the adjustments this morning make that chance smaller and smaller. So if you see a flake flying, wave at it, it'll fall, it'll land, and you'll be good. Nothing's going to stick, no impact. Super Sunday ahead of us, 68 really comfortable degrees. It's really overall going to be a pretty nice weekend, and overnight tonight, you can catch a full moon here. It's the snow moon this year.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get a quick look here at something we just picked up on Briley Parkway at Clarksville Pike. Got a disabled vehicle here on the shoulder. There's also some report of debris in the road over here northwest of downtown along Briley Parkway near Clarksville Pike. Haven't seen it on the cameras. We've been looking for it. Just watch out. You see how fast people are coming around that curve. Watch out for the gentleman there on the shoulder as he's still trying to figure out how he can get some help out there. We're going to continue to watch this scene and others coming up with Steer Clear traffic.
Justin, thank you. Quickly before we get to 8 o'clock, an update to a hot button issue surrounding hot as in spicy food here in Tennessee.
Yeah, we first told you about the push to make hot slaw the official food of Tennessee a few weeks ago. Lawmakers backed off of that, making it one of Tennessee's state foods. Just one.
Right, so it did pass the House and the Senate unanimously. Now the governor will sign off on a resolution.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
And a very good Friday morning to you. It's 8 o'clock on the dot. Ruling out the rumors of a cyber attack. Cell phone service on several networks nationwide being restored. The issue that caused that wireless meltdown. And former President Trump making a stop right here in Music City, speaking to his core base, the message to Christians here in Tennessee. And we have new information this morning about the competing education bills in our legislature, and this does include universal school choice.
The Beacon Center of Tennessee is fighting for freelance journalists to choose how they earn a living. Coming up, I'll have the details.
Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Friday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be your live local news source, always here for you through 9 a.m. Let's get started with our local headlines this hour.
Yes, we're going to bring you up to speed about former President Donald Trump taking the stage over at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention that was at Gaylord Opryland. Now, the purpose of his visit was to deliver a speech about what the next 4 years would look like under his leadership. Listen.
We're going to save this country. It will be thanks to the men and women like you, like the people in this audience, and we are represented by the best, the people who make God's work your work, God's work your work. That's what you do. And
well, the former president also spoke about bringing back common sense principles, he says, to education that focused on faith, family, and freedom. Trump faces off against Nikki Haley in tomorrow's First in the South, South Carolina Republican primary. And despite his commanding lead in the state polls, Nikki Haley says she will not drop out of the race. By the way, you can watch his entire speech on our website. Go to fox17.com.
Let's get you updated this morning on the big breaking news we followed all morning yesterday and pretty much all day, impacting tens of thousands of people right here in Tennessee. AT&T working to assure customers that a cyber attack was not the reason for that wireless outage Thursday. Instead, the company says it was likely caused by a coding error in some kind of software update. But the investigation continues, and the FBI is in contact with AT&T, trying to figure out whether there was anything malicious behind what happened. We also know that several counties right here in Middle Tennessee did come under impact because of that outage, specifically 911 call centers. Rutherford County, Lawrence County, Wilson County, all telling Fox 17 News their 911 systems were down for hours yesterday. Wilson County advising people to use text messaging in the event of another cellular outage. Murray County 911 saying to try to turn off your phone, turn it back on, see if you can get a signal. And listen, folks, if all else fails and we end up in this situation again, you can try to get to a landline phone if you've got to reach 911.
Your forecast here at 8:03, working you through the big three things to know that we're going to tackle a little bit more piece by piece moving through the rest of this half hour. Showers moved out overnight. Wet pavement started the day, but that's already drying out for us here. Colder morning starting tomorrow. We're talking 30s both days, Saturday and Sunday. Sunday's the better afternoon. Now, between now and the end of the weekend, we're going to see a chance for a few snow flurries. We'll see who has that chance on Future Track, and we'll also look ahead to some potential severe weather next week. So this is what kind of setting up the stage for a brand new weather pattern. Now, I would just say here, just to watch out for a few puddles in low-lying areas. That's pretty much the only weather impact getting out the door. We're all clear when it comes to code red, keeping the arrow down there. We're going to watch out for those morning flakes, though. That's the big thing in the forecast for the immediate future. 51 sunny degrees. Started off with some cloud cover a few hours ago, but the sun has taken back over, and it's going to help you climb all the way to 61 later on this afternoon. There's those two chilly nights in the 30s, 52 degrees tomorrow, and then we're back up to the 60s. So we'll talk snow chances, not an impact by any means. And then Tuesday into Wednesday when it could be our next round of severe weather across Middle Tennessee.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get out to Bradley Parkway here and Clarksville Highway. That's where we are dealing with one vehicle here on the shoulder this morning. We can tell you that traffic can get by. However, there have been some reports of debris in the road in that area. Now, I've been looking around, checking the cameras, haven't seen any debris. Unsure why this car exactly is over here, whether it's a flat tire or something else. Just watch out for the speeding cars around this corner here, as we don't want any more problems in this area than we already have. Here's I-65 Trinity Lane. Typical slowdown coming in from the north side. We're going to check in with your latest drive times coming up here in the next few minutes.
Justin, thank you. 8:05 developing right now. We have a local watchdog group that is taking on the federal government. This is the Beacon Center of Tennessee, based in Nashville, that is working to protect freelance workers, specifically journalists.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is joining us live to explain what this means, Karen, for Tennesseans.
Yes, well, what this means is that people want the ability to work for themselves. They want to choose when they work and where they work. So, for example, me, I work out of this car sometimes before I do my reports, but the federal government is trying to strip these freelance journalists by adopting new rules of their ability to do just that. If you take a look at your screen, these two freelance journalists, Margaret Lippman and Jennifer Chizak, want to keep their independent contractor status without the government stepping in. So they contacted the Beacon Center of Tennessee, who filed a lawsuit against the U.S. Department of Labor on their behalf this week. The new rule they're trying to set in place, they argue, increases the chances that freelancers like Lippman and Chizak will be misclassified as employees instead of contractors. Beacon Director of Legal Affairs Wen Faw says that these freelancers should be able to choose how they earn a living without the government interfering. I asked him if there's been a response yet from the U.S. Department of Labor. Here's his answer.
I have not personally talked to the Department of Labor, though I anticipate that they will respond to our complaint in a few weeks. I know that individuals in the freelance community have reached out to government officials on both the federal and state level to try to stop this.
They're supposed to try this in the district court, but the court date has not been set yet. Faw says that the U.S. Department of Labor has a couple weeks to respond. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Karen, thank you so much. The Rutherford County School Board has voted now to join a lawsuit against most of the social media companies. This lawsuit says that social media has not done enough to protect minors. We're going to tell you why they say it really doesn't matter if they get a dime from this or not.
Quick reminder, we're your only local station with traffic and weather updates live from 4 until 9. Beautiful sunrise to start this Friday morning.
Count on certified pre-owned Hondas. Search your local Honda dealer today.
Receive storm alerts. Download the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather app.
8:10 is the time. Rutherford County Schools voted overnight to join a lawsuit against most of those major social media companies. Now, this lawsuit says that the social media companies have failed to enforce their own age verification process. And also, they have an algorithm there to make sure that teens end up scrolling endlessly, taking up a lot of time. They also say they're not keeping harmful materials away from minors on social media. The school system says they don't care if they win any money from this or not. It's not about that for them. It's about trying to make some change.
This is the same kind of suit that they did against Jewel. And we all know that they won the suit against Jewel. And they had to change everything. So we're hoping for a good outcome. And I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second. Thank you. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Anyone wishing to abstain? We will be proceeding to file the suit.
I almost voted on accident on that because I have 2 young kids. I almost said aye, and I don't vote. So
you can't vote.
No, I cannot.
Yeah.
All right, so they're unanimously in favor. Rutherford County is also joining this lawsuit, but they did not start it. Therefore, they will not have to pay for any attorney's fees, win or lose.
Looking at your forecast using our four-legged friends of the day. We've got 3 dogs of the day, and boy, do I love this picture. This is just everything. This picture better be framed if you haven't framed it, Ronnie, because it's just that good. Timba, Skippy, and Coco are 3 dogs in the entire day, drying out from yesterday's rain. Could still be some wet grass out there, so keep that in mind for the pause. But 51 degrees at 9 o'clock, 60 at noon, and 60 degrees at 3 p.m. Loaded with sun. The sun has already taken over, and it will continue. We want your photos. How do you get them to us? Very easily, the same way you have been doing it here for well over a year. You go to Facebook, meteorologist Greg Bobus. First post you'll see pinned at the top. All you need is your pet's name, a photograph. You can tell us where you live if you want to shout out your hometown. Maybe even give us a story about your four-legged friend. You'll see it right here on Fox 17 News this morning.
Well, coming up, we've got steer clear traffic for you at I-24 at Sam Ridley Parkway. We're going to tell you the latest behind getting this truck off the road. Plus, the city of Nashville is also launching its first ever.
It happened.
In your community, Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell and his administration, they are starting a new effort, they say, to help people get healthier.
Yeah, the city is launching something called the Wellness Opportunity Zone. They're trying to reduce high blood pressure among people living in Nashville. So if you're outside of Davidson County, this doesn't necessarily apply to you, but the mayor, at least on the part of Nashville, teaming up with the Matthew Walker Comprehensive Health Center on this project.
It's about nutrition.
Well, apologize there. We lost some of that interview with the mayor. We understand that the center is going to act as a hub for patient care. And then other groups will be there providing people with opportunities to get healthy meals, also to get transportation to and from different healthcare providers. Nashville investing $1.5 million in this program. If you want to learn more about it, how it would work, how you could take advantage of it in Nashville, just head to fox17.com.
New this morning, more than 300 physicians' assistants making their voices heard at the Capitol this week, supporting bills that they say would make healthcare more accessible.
Yeah, they say that the bills they're advocating for would remove licensing barriers.
Joining us this Friday morning is Tennessee Academy of Physician Assistants President Marie Patterson. And we have talked about how Tennessee is really battling a shortage of healthcare workers. So we do want to ask you how this could remove those barriers and help patients.
Right. So, we haven't updated our practice laws for PAs in a quarter of a century. So we're taking a deep dive and looking at ways that we can help the patients in Tennessee access care more readily. And so we had some of these things in place during COVID, and we saw all the benefits that it could bring to the patients in Tennessee. And so that's what we're trying to do, is work on things to decrease those barriers. One is the licensing compact, and I've been to Washington 3 times now working on that, and that would allow PAs to get where they can practice in multiple states with 1 license. And so that's definitely going to be beneficial.
Dr. Patterson, what would be the next steps in trying to get this pushed through?
Right. So we have the bill in multiple committees, and then on both the House and the Senate side, and then it will come for a full vote if it makes it out of committees. And so, we're excited about that opportunity this session.
And real quick, you are a director over at MTSU. I'm curious how moving this forward could then encourage the future of PAs when it comes to students enrolling and knowing they would have options when they graduate.
Right. So the PA profession is a very popular profession. Every program receives multiple hundreds of applications more than they have spots for. So it's a very popular profession. There is the need and the desire to go into the profession and help patients, and removing barriers. And for example, this compact would allow PAs, and Tennessee borders more states than anyone else with 8 states. And so you would have that option to work in multiple states or telemedicine also, because you need a license wherever the patient is located if you're seeing someone. So it really would help increase access to rural communities and places like that.
All right, Dr. Patterson, we appreciate your time this morning, and we'll be keeping you posted on how this progresses through our legislature. Thank you so much.
Right now, though, we do want to check in on your Friday forecast. I see lots of sunshine out there, Greg. I love it.
Oh, and it's going to continue for the rest of today. Get you out the door here on the 23rd of February to temperatures that are already climbing. We're back into the 50s here by 9 o'clock across the board. 51 degrees, 54 at 10, and 58 degrees at 11. You'll see a couple of clouds here and there, but primarily sunny, and we'll take it. And that's going to be a problem tonight, though. After hitting 61 degrees today, staying relatively clear overnight. Thin cloud cover means we can drop down with our temperature very quickly into the 30s by tomorrow morning. Midnight, speck of green. This is our rain/flurry chance. That small and that type of activity. Not very active by any means. No impact whatsoever from anything that does come down, but you could see a few light raindrops and a few light snowflakes east of I-65. Snow more likely in the Cumberland Plateau. So that's what we're going to work with this. Taking a look at, the chance, minimal at best, but those are the areas where we could see, again, a few things flying out of the sky tomorrow, but those will quickly melt and they're not going to be of any nuisance to us. Top of the radar to the right side of your screen is what has moved away. I'm tracking the next weather maker for next week, coming up in about 5 minutes in your Code Red forecast.
Steer clear traffic. We are watching the latest thing we picked up here on I-24 at Sam Ridley Parkway. This is making that drive in from the Smyrna area this morning. They have got an ambulance on the scene. This is an injury crash. We don't know exactly how many people could be hurt, but they've been here for a little while. The HOV lane on the outside blocked up. Believe it or not, this is only causing minor delays. Most of what you see over here on this side would have been here anyway because of the heavy traffic coming through Rutherford County this time of the morning. Still, we're under an hour, just under an hour getting in from Murfreesboro to downtown Nashville. That's even with this delay. If you would like to take Highway 41 through places like Smyrna, you can do so, and then jump back on around Waldron Road.
Could Tennesseans be getting some much needed financial relief? Tennessee minimum wage could increase, but by how much? And what one local politician is doing to fight for pay.
We have a man missing this morning from the Clarksville area. The TBI.
Lazy Boy Furniture in Tennessee. All at savings up to 50% off. And 36 months interest-free financing is available. The President's Day sale extended through Sunday at all 3 Lazy Boy locations.
8:23 is the time here on this Friday morning, covering the economy. We've got a state representative, Gloria Johnson, a Democrat, who is proposing a plan to significantly raise Tennessee's minimum wage. And we say significantly, we mean more than double than what it is now, almost triple.
Well, and here's why. Currently, Tennessee follows the federal minimum wage, which is $7.25 an hour. Gloria Johnson's proposal would raise our state's minimum wage to $20 an hour for anybody who works in our state.
Yeah, that's from the local fast food all the way to anything. Now, she says the higher rates are a must to try to keep up with the skyrocketing rent and grocery prices across the state. By the way, Johnson is running against Marsha Blackburn for the United States Senate seat. She says that she'll push for that on a national level if she is elected.
We were curious to know what you think about this. Do you think that a $20 hourly minimum wage is something you could support? Currently, in our live poll over on Twitter, about 67% of you say no, you would not support that. We've got well more than 2,000 votes right now. You can go to twitter.com, search Fox Nashville for the poll, or you can scan that QR code right there on the screen. It'll take you right to the link.
8:24. Welcome to Friday. You're almost to the weekend, and things will look pretty good for the upcoming weekend themselves. But we're watching next Wednesday already. Always looking for the next big thing heading our way. And there are some signals right now for some thunderstorm activity on Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm more concerned about Wednesday itself. Some strong storms are possible, and we're going to iron everything out when it comes to timing, specific locations that we have to watch out for more carefully than others, and those threats, the hail, wind, tornado threats, how high each one of those categories is going to be. What we know now is that those are the 2 days we're going to watch. What you do now is stay up to date with the forecast as we continue to update it into and out of this upcoming weekend, so we're all on the same page when we get into Monday, Tuesday, and especially Wednesday. This is a big chunk of area here. We're talking about a large portion east of the Mississippi River that could be seeing some thunderstorms going into Wednesday. So to pinpoint exactly where the biggest threat is going to be, that's our job here in the coming days. So we're all, again, ready for what's coming our way. Tuesday looks good, but then subtly going into Wednesday, that is our next chance when this will pick up and we do bring in the showers and thunderstorms.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Let's get you back out to I-24 Sam Ridley Parkway. That's where we've got an all stop now for traffic. They've stopped all traffic as they're going to move this crash from one side of the road to the other. And there's a significant difference from the side of the road with the barrier versus the side of the road where you've got all that grass. There's a lot more room to operate over there. So to be safer, they just want to make sure they get the accident and everybody involved on the safest side of the road. Plus, it opens up that HOV lane during the rush hour. So that's something they are in favor of. Just be sure that this is when bad things can happen. Just pay attention. People are impatient. They want to go. They're trying to get to work. Give yourself the extra time. Watch out and follow the instructions of those TDOT workers out there. They're just trying to make the area safe. As you see, THPs out there as well. Again, this is I-24 at Sam Ridley Parkway, right before the Waldron Road exit. As a matter of fact, I can read the sign from here. It's about a mile away. All right, there they are. They've reopened the traffic lane. So away we go, playing red light, green light on I-24 this morning.
Right now, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is asking folks here in the mid-state to be on the lookout for the man you see on the top left of your screen. He is missing from the Clarksville area. His name is Howard Miller. He's 42, and this is a silver alert from the TBI, and a silver alert is issued when someone is missing and they may not be able to get home safely on their own.
Now, this man was last seen wearing blue jeans along with a tan hoodie. If you know where Mr. Miller may be, you're asked to contact the TBI. That number is 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Still to come here on Fox 17 News this morning at our 8:30 half hour. Metro police say they've arrested two men who they think were involved in more than a dozen robberies right here in the mid-state, and details on what else they found when police searched their home.
NASCAR's best season ever here on Fox 17.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Southeast Financial Credit Union. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
The Beacon Center of Tennessee filed a lawsuit this week to protect people who want to work for themselves. Coming up, I'll have more details on that.
Coming up, two school voucher proposals are the talk of the state legislature. We'll compare and contrast what they might mean for families and schools.
And Fox 17 News, your live local news source through 9 a.m. And as such, we can give you breaking news in Steer Clear traffic. One of the stories we're following right now, Justin will get to in a moment from I-24 at Sam Ridley Parkway.
Let's start right now, though, by thanking you for waking up with us here on Fox 17 News Friday morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We are your live local news source through 9 a.m. and getting you updated on all your top local headlines this half hour.
Absolutely. New this Friday morning, Metro Police say they arrested two serial robbery suspects who may have been involved in more than a dozen robberies happening over in South Nashville.
Yeah, I know police and neighbors alike glad to have a resolution to these crimes. 26-year-old Jorge Alvarado and 34-year-old Carlos Beltran Jr., both accused of robbing a man in South Nashville most recently in a parking lot. That happened Wednesday night. Well, when police stopped their car and arrested both of them, they then went to the house where the two of them were living in Laverne. And if you look at your screen, you'll see everything police found. Guns that they shouldn't have had, and evidence, according to police, linking them to other crimes. The two men currently being held on about $150,000 bond each.
And go ahead and take a look at your screen, because in Clarksville, police need your help tracking down this burglary suspect. Detectives say this person broke inside a Riverside Super Laundromat and then stole merchandise. All right, just took off with things. If you have any information, you were asked to call Clarksville Police.
Developing right now, we have a local watchdog group that is taking on the federal government. The Beacon Center of Tennessee working to protect freelance workers. In this case, going up against the feds, we're talking about journalists.
Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us to explain what this means, though, for Tennesseans. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning. It's affecting people who want to work for themselves. They want to choose when they work and where they work, whether it's working out of a laptop or going inside of an office. The federal government is changing the rules to strip independent workers from doing just that. Two journalists, Margaret Littman and Jennifer Chizak, contacted the Beacon Center of Tennessee to prevent the government from what they call overreaching. They also would like to make sure that they're able to keep their benefits, and again, just stress that they want to choose how they earn a living. Now, the Beacon filed a lawsuit on their behalf against the U.S. Department of Labor this week. They argue the new rule that they're trying to set in place increases the chances that freelancers like Littman and Chizak will be misclassified as employees instead of contractors. Beacon Director of Legal Affairs, Wen Fa, explains.
These rules are prompted by this government knows best notion that government has to choose for individuals whether they should be employees or independent contractors. I don't think that's the case at all. I think the individual knows best. I think some people choose to be employees because they like the benefits that come from being employees. Other people choose to be freelancers.
No court date is set yet. We've contacted the U.S. Department of Labor for comment, and they haven't talked back to us. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Sun beaming down over Middle Tennessee right now. Time right now is 8:34, but we have a snow situation ahead of us. That got your attention, didn't it? No, it's not a big deal, though. Taking a look here. Flurries possible for a few of us east of I-65 going into tomorrow. Most of us won't see a single flake. Those of us that do, no impact. Nothing is going to stick. Mainly Cumberland Plateau. There could be a light sprinkle or two very early in the morning east of I-65 as well. That's the only thing that's going to be on the radar for the entire weekend. We're all clear for code red. Saturday morning flakes, that's all we've got. We'll wake up in the 30s, pretty cold though to start. Taking a look right now, we're already at 51 degrees. That sunshine is beaming down, and it will continue all day until we get to 61 later on today. Whether it's driving to the gym or you want to get outdoors for exercise today, here is your temperature outlook until noon. 54 at 10, 58 degrees at 11, and 60 at noon. So breaking it down, getting a couple of degrees every hour until we hit that 60, 61 degree mark later on this afternoon. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, not everything is warm. We do have those two cold nights. Unfortunately, they're both leading into the mornings for your weekend, Saturday and Sunday. But we're right back to warmth again on Sunday into Monday and Tuesday. What I'm watching much more carefully is what's going to move in Tuesday into Wednesday. A weather maker that could be aggressive when it comes to potential for strong thunderstorms. And I'll talk about those threats and a little bit more of the timing coming up in a few moments.
Still clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get to I-24 Sam Ridley Parkway as you make that drive into town coming in from Smyrna. We were just dealing with a crash that had the outside lanes and HOV lanes shut down a short time ago. We are happy to report that has moved on. So no more problems out there this morning on I-24. Hopefully this ride will be a little bit better. We're also watching a disabled vehicle over near Clarksville Highway and Briley Parkway. A beautiful morning out there. No more debris. No more disabled vehicle. We're good to go there as well. Things starting to really clear up as we get towards our 9 o'clock hour.
This morning in Crisis in the Classroom, a series of stories here on Fox 17 News. We have new information about the competing education bills in the legislature that do include universal school choice.
All right, so this is the effort on the part of the governor and other lawmakers to allow families to choose where to send their children to school, even if that's private schools, and to use state money to do that. House and Senate leaders talking about their respective bills that are different after their sessions wrapped up yesterday. Now, we should see the House version filed coming up Monday at the latest. The Senate version, which is also out, includes language that goes beyond traditional school choice.
Not just for private schools or charter schools, home schools, but also for public schools. If you want to go to a different public schools, maybe within your LEA, go to that school. If you want to go to a public school in your adjacent county or city, go to that school.
The House version is very different than the Senate version, and the Senate version is very different than the governor's version. And so I think they've got a long way to go in an uphill battle before they pass anything.
As both of those move through, we'll keep you posted right here on Fox 17 News.
Coming up, the latest Grammy winners to make their way.
Find your dream cookie or vehicle at sarahnashville.com.
The Good Feet Store, improving people's lives 2 feet at a time.
We do want to bring you up to speed on breaking international headlines this Friday morning. We are now learning more about hundreds of new sanctions announced by the U.S. against Russia. President Biden says this is over Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the death of opposition leader Alexei Navalny. Now, according to the BBC, export restrictions are going to be imposed on nearly 100 firms or individuals. This announcement comes one day before the 2-year anniversary of Russia's attack on Ukraine. President Biden issuing a statement, too, on these sanctions, and I'm quoting here, they will ensure Putin puts an even steeper price for his aggression abroad and repression at home.
All right, Erica, thank you so much. Well, the Grammy Award winners, Kings of Leon, will be stopping in Nashville for their big 2024 World Tour.
Now, the band just announced that the tour, along with a brand new album titled Can We Please Have Fun, will be released May 10th. They're going to be in Nashville this fall, September 26th at Bridgestone Arena.
Now, this is going to be their only stop for the Kings of Leon World Tour in Tennessee. If you're interested in going, the tickets go on sale coming up here on February 27th for their September show.
And a check of what's coming up in your forecast. This is what we're going to focus on next Wednesday. Signals for stormy weather. Strong to severe thunderstorms are possible, and we're not really sure of the specifics. What I mean by that is we're still so far away that timing it out hour by hour, the location where we're most likely for stronger storms, and just what's going to roll through. What's the atmosphere going to be like when it comes to wind, tornadoes, or just run-of-the-mill severe thunderstorms? We'll watch out for all that as we go into the weekend. What you're going to do is follow along with us. We're going to keep updating the forecast as often as we can throughout every new update that we get closer and closer to Wednesday, but there's a large area that has a chance for severe thunderstorms. We're going to kind of get this honed in, and you'll start seeing all the different colors for that level 1 through 5 pop up as we get into and out of the weekend. Enjoy your weekend for what it is, though. Today, 61 degrees and sunny. A little cold the next couple of mornings, but the afternoon's pretty good. I would say Sunday's your pick of the weekend at 68 degrees and sunny.
Well, coming up next on Fox 17 News this morning, live look there from Franklin as we're taking a look at your steer clear traffic. We're going to tell you about any problem spots that may be out there.
And the
plus 1.9% financing for 72 months available. Some scratched, some didn't, some not, but all with big savings. Town and Country Ford in Madison.
We have an update now to breaking news that we told you about yesterday involving AT&T. Yeah, representatives now say that the cell phone outage yesterday was a result of a glitch in a system update.
Sure, but plenty of people were speculating this could have been a cyber attack or a solar flare. Fox 17 meteorologist Brett Luna explaining how solar flares could cause problems in the future.
We had a few solar flares occur recently, and we had 2 of those that occurred before all those cell issues happened early Thursday morning. The first one of those peaking at 5:07 p.m. Central Time Wednesday, and then another one at 12:32 a.m. early Thursday morning. A solar flare is the solar system's largest explosive event. It's a sudden burst of electromagnetic energy, and this energy travels at the speed of light and only impacts the part of Earth that can actually see the flare, aka the sunlit side of the Earth. It just so happens that certain cell services also went down early Thursday morning, but according to experts, these events likely have no connection.
In our opinion, based off what we know with space weather, we can go as far as to say it's highly unlikely.
The frequencies that cellular systems generally operate upon are outside of the realm of frequencies that a solar flare would normally impact. A solar flare normally is just going to impact HF radio frequencies, so ham radio, people that are emergency response that are trying to use those frequencies, operations like that.
other types of solar activity, whether it be our solar radiation storms or geomagnetic storms, they can start to impact more specific technologies like satellites in space or our power grid, for instance, just to name a few, GPS accuracy among others. There's a lot of things that can happen, but those events did not happen either.
During solar flares or coronal mass ejections, these radio emissions can spike in both intensity and bandwidth. The radio noise can lower the signal-to-noise ratio for some terrestrial radio communications, leading to degraded or even a loss of communication. During the time of the widely reported outage, the Space Weather Prediction Center did measure a few so-called radio bursts, but they were not uncharacteristically large or at the typical frequencies of 4G and 5G cellular communications. They think it is unlikely that those were the source of the outages. Space Weather Prediction Center Service Coordinator Sean Dahl says we're at an active time when it comes to the sun. The sun operates on an 11-year cycle, so don't be surprised if you hear of more solar events throughout the rest of this year and even into 2026. Reporting in studio, Brett Luna, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Okay, now we are aware going forward. Hey, speaking of awareness, I want you to know that Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has declared next week Severe Weather Awareness Week, basically trying to encourage everybody to have a plan as we get into severe weather season. And Greg is here to talk a little bit about how you and the rest of our weather team are working to make sure people are aware and prepared, but not scared.
Yeah, a lot of new people move here every year that do not know what our weather could be like, and we can have, I mean, literally, severe weather any month of the entire year. We've had some really bad tornadoes in December, and you might go, what?
Right.
So there's an event tomorrow. We do this every year. It's called Severe Weather Awareness Day at Trevecca University. This is from 9 o'clock in the morning until 4 p.m. Whole weather team's going to be out there. You can meet the team from 9 a.m. until noon. And then Chief Meteorologist Katie Morgan and a few others are going to be out there with some panels and questions at noon. And then we have a keynote speaker. If you are a weather fanatic and you follow along with meteorologists on any form of social media, the name James Spann will stick out to you. Iconic forecaster when it comes to severe weather and the dynamics of the atmosphere. He's going to be there with a presentation, and this is going to be a treat for even the meteorologists that are in the room. Taking a look here, weekend outlook. Cooler temperatures for the mornings, 35s for Saturday and for Sunday. Saturday, though, chance for a couple of flurries. That is it. That chance has even gone down since 4 o'clock when we went on the air. A great looking Sunday, 68 degrees. Just enjoy it. Take a look, 61 and sunshine later today. I'll tell you though, if you do have evening plans, we're not going to have any rain, but you're going to kind of change the wardrobe. Say you leave at lunchtime and you're not coming back until after the evening hours. It's going to drop about 30 degrees in the course of 12 hours, so keep that in mind. Saturday, very similar story. It will drop very quickly from the evening hours into the morning hours. And then Sunday, we get a little relief. Look at these nighttime temperatures. Take a look, 51 degrees Sunday night. 60 Monday night, right near 60 on Tuesday night, and then 31 on Wednesday night. Look at Wednesday. We go from 72 to 31. That is why the chance for severe weather is going to be there. It takes a big trigger to flip-flop the atmosphere in that kind of a direction. So we're going to watch that day very carefully. In the meantime, enjoy the weekend, and we'll keep updating you throughout the weekend into next week about the Tuesday, Wednesday weather maker.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get a quick update on what we're facing out there at Moore's Lane at I-65. That drive coming in from the Franklin area, Cool Springs. As you can see, traffic out there moving along. However, we do run into some problems here and there, especially as you get closer into the Brentwood area. Not seeing anything significant right now. Just watch out to it, forward rather, the closer you get to Old Hickory Boulevard. But right now we're looking okay. I want to show you one more thing before we got to that. Here we are, I-40 at Spence Lane. Nice drive out there for you. Things have really cleared out for those of you who need to make your way in from that east side. Now we can take you to the drive times. 37 minutes. Still a little bit slow coming down from Hendersonville. Murfreesboro, beautiful time. 53 minutes. We're well under an hour now. Franklin into downtown at 33 minutes as you make that drive in from Williamson County.
Hey, if Justin describes your drive time as beautiful, you know we're doing all right.
That's true.
Justin, thank you. All right, soccer season is back, and the boys in gold get things off to a great start against Mocha FC. If you're wondering who or where is Mocha FC, that's in the Dominican Republic.
Very sunny in the DR. The boys in gold winning 3-0. That's right, a shutout. A good record for the first game of 2 against Mocha FC. fighting to move on to the Champions Cup. Notable points, okay, forward Tyler Boyd making his debut for Nashville and also scored last night.
Next game for Nashville SC is coming up Sunday at home. Exciting to have them back here over at Geodis Park. They're going to play the New York Red Bulls.
Okay, we're also talking about hockey. The Preds' late game against the Los Angeles Kings was probably not expected to end with 2 empty net goals, but that's how they wrapped up a big win.
Yeah, pretty exciting for the Preds here. The Nashville Predators on a hot streak now. They have been able to put 3 wins together in a row after the 4-1 win over the Kings. Preds goalie Jussi Saros had 28 saves. Preds got 2 goals in an empty net, as Erica mentioned, and that's rare. The Preds play the Sharks in San Jose tomorrow night.
And listen, they're going to finish up their road trip against Anaheim. That's going to happen on Sunday. Some more highlights. Look for that Monday morning.
A bit of a West Coast swing. All right, former President Donald Trump makes a visit right here in Nashville, speaking to the National Religious Broadcasters Convention.
Right, of F-150s plus 1.9% financing for 72 months available. Some scratched, some didn't, some not, but all with big savings. Town & Country Ford in Madison.